The Night Owls are a team in search for a new identity. Few core pieces remain and significant changes have been made. Will it be enough to stave off a return trip to relegation? The Vaderz continue to dominate offensively with the best team batting statistics in the league. Will the pitching of Cy Young candidate Billy Santiwan and company be enough to hold off desperate teams like the Night Owls? Find out next. Good evening and welcome to Hideaway Field here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. You are watching Premier League Wiffle, tonight's three-game series set to get underway moments from now. The Night Owls are the away team wearing brown and orange. The Vaderz, the home team, wearing purple. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday evening. I am Greg Kelly, joined tonight in the booth by my good friend and color analyst, Trench Bacone. Trench, the Night Owls have been a team at times in turmoil throughout this season. They've gotten rid of a lot of people. They've made a lot of trades. Let's talk a little bit about what looks like an entirely different Night Owl squad.
I mean, the only people that I really see that are the core group is Randy, Stein, Davella,
and
Barry Hutter.
Yeah, the Night Owls have really put the entire roster into a blender. Maddie Levine, AJ Petrovsky, Joe Keither, Jason Walker, Brandon Mayo, all gone. Josh Tucker was there for a little while. He went, he came back. Dave Seifert was there. He went, he came back. Tony Daly was traded away. Josh Towers was traded away. They've picked up a few more guys. Some Vaderz, who they'll be playing tonight. Alonso Valencia, Jake Slusher. What do you think are these guys going to gel right away?
As you know, it's very difficult to gel with a new team right after you got traded. A lot of pressure is also on you to perform when you, especially are playing a former team. I mean, I'm looking in the Vaderz dugout. You got Jason Walker over there. He was a Night Owl. And then you have Alonso Valencia, who was a Vader on that side. It's going to be a wild night. I'm excited about this series.
Owner Nick Davella shocked many in PLW Nation by stepping down as manager of the Night Owls. He handed over the reins to new acquisition Logan Christie. What do you think is the idea behind that? Was he just burned out, or did he want a new look in the clubhouse?
Yeah, I talked to Nick Davella earlier this week, and I think his energy level was just all over the place. I think he really wants to focus on just being a player. He handed the reins to Logan Christie, and I think it's a good play. I've talked to many of the owners out here, and I think some of these guys need to have managers, because when you're managing and playing and doing and all this stuff, you could get caught up a little bit. You need a little bit of help, and I think having a manager for the Night Owls is a good thing with Logan Christie.
Logan Christie calling the shots now. A few trades were just made. Let's go ahead and take a look at that Night Owls batting lineup. Randy Dalby and James Stein are in attendance tonight. And Trent, as you know, that makes a big difference to this squad. Dalby will lead off. Stein will hit second. Levi Lawrence, the big lefty, will bat third. Sean Merciel, the shortstop, in the cleanup spot. Barry Hutter, designated hitter, fifth. And Logan Christie, the new manager of the Night Owls, will bat sixth. Full house tonight. A lot of substitutes on the bench. Alonso Valencia, Jake Slusher, former Vaderz, now Night Owls, Nick Davella, Cody Giordano, Dakota Pikuvit, the new free agent pickup, and Dave Seifert returning to the Night Owls.
Yeah, if you look at that lineup and bullpen of the Night Owls, that's the reason I have them taking this series tonight. I know that the Vaderz have some big bats, but I feel like the Night Owls are a little bit deeper. You got Randy, you got James, you got Levi. Who else is over there? Oh, Slusher. You got Slusher over there as well, yep. And of course Dave Seifert if he needs to get on the mound as well. And then on the Vaderz side, you have Billy, Tanner, and Nate Stepna, I believe. But I think the Night Owls are just a little bit deeper, a little bit more talented. Of course, you have Jason Walker on the Vaderz side, too. But I got to go with the Night Owls in this series.
Night Owls called by Trench. The Vaderz do continue to impress on both sides of the field, just half a game back of the first-place ones. They only continue to get better as the season progresses. They have 5 guys hitting over 300. Not a single person on the Night Owls is hitting over 300 at this point. However, a lot of shake-up, a lot of change, and we'll see how it plays out tonight. Billy Santiwan will get the call for the Vaderz on the hill, the knuckleballer. Randy Dalby will lead off for the Night Owls. Game number 1 of a 3-game set underway.
Let me tell you, when Randy has his sunglasses on his head, he really performs.
First pitch is a knuckleball, 58 and hot for ball 1.
And as good as the Vaderz are, 5 of those guys batting over 300, they're going to have to face some of the most elite pitching here in the PLW.
55 and in center pan. Dalby falls behind 1-2.
Already 250 people tuning in for this one as Tanner Roundy makes an easy play in short right field for out number 1.
That'll bring up James Stein with one away. Fouled off.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time, or maybe not the first time, but they haven't faced Billy all that often this season. So I'm curious to see how Randy and James will do against Billy's knuckleball.
Shot right at Ethan Ibarra off his feet into the waiting hands of Nate Stepner, who puts him away for out number 2. There's a little bit of a talk about whether or not he kicked that. James Stein is possibly making an appeal to first base umpire Jim Dodos. We'll see if that challenge flag comes out, Trench.
Yeah, while they're talking about that, you could hear the winds, and this is blowing in, swirling around, not so much going out right now. But if you could catch the winds blowing out, that could be a good sign for some of the offense.
It'll bring up Levi Lawrence, who looks at a knuckleball hot, 56 miles per hour for ball 1. Outside, ball 2.
Listen, there was a lot of talk about Levi Lawrence earlier in the season, how he could be a problem, but I feel like he's, gelled in really well with these Night Owls as Billy Santiwan. A quick work of the Night Owls, as we're probably going to see Randy take the mound for game number 1.
Will indeed be Randy Dalby getting the call for the Night Owls here in game number 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at that Night Owls lineup as we move into the bottom of the first inning. The Vaderz lineup, thank you. Ethan Ibarra, the shortstop, will lead off, followed by Gio Battistoni, both of these guys hitting in the top percentages for their team. Kyle Etter, the left fielder, will hit third. Tanner Roundy, the right fielder, bat fourth. Alec Hutt, the rookie, the designated hitter. Billy Santiwan, the pitcher, rounding out the 6-man lineup. Substitutes include Nate Stepna, Cesai Alarcon, Jason Walker, new acquisition, as well as Kenny Santiwan. And what's that name at the bottom of the list there, Trench?
Listen, no comment right there. No, I love that's Cuba Dave Cabrera. He's a smack hitter. He bring it all over the place just in case they needed him. They could put him in the lineup. I think he's there for more of a morale, energy booster in the Vaderz dugout. They love having him around. What I am seeing that I think I could give a check mark to the Vaderz over the Night Owls is the infield. I'm a little suspect of Alonso Valencia over on third when the wind is kind of swirling around.
Sure.
I don't know if he has the arm power all the time to make a throw to the backstop. And old Jake Slusher on second base. I don't know. I haven't seen his arm in full effect yet. So we're going to have to, let it play out. But watch out for those two guys. They're going to have to step up on the defensive end and make those throws, especially, as you know, when it's a hard hit and it caroms off you and you got to make a quick throw. You got to come and not hit the turf.
If anything were to go awry in that category, they have capable infielders waiting on the bench in the form of Cody Giordano and Barry Hutter. Ethan Ibarra will lead off. Randy Dalby will deliver the first pitch for the Night Owls. It's going to tink lower bar at 58 for ball 1. Ibarra holds off on the high pitch.
Yeah, and Randy right now behind 2-1 has to hit the pan right now.
He does not. 3-1 to Ibarra.
Puts him in a difficult situation as Ibarra lights out with power.
He's going to put this one into right field. Jake Slusher ranging back off second base, off his palms, and down into the turf. Ethan Ibarra will get to first.
Yeah, not an easy play, but a play that needs to be made. If it hits you in your hands, you need to grasp that and get a big hitter out. But instead, you have Ibarra on first base, no outs, and a red-hot Gio Battistoni up to bat right now.
First pitch to Gio's 54 and center pan. He'll fall behind 0-2 to Dalby.
315,000 wiffle ball points coming in on the Vaderz early.
This one is grounded. Double play ball. Valencia will turn, go to second. Merciel is just going to eat it there. Not a whole lot of time to turn and put that one into the center panel. So rather than risk making a throwing error, they'll just go with the force out.
Also, a red-hot Kyle Etter up to... I mean, the whole team's red-hot.
Battistoni, 364. Ibarra, 352. Kyle Etter, 340.
This is a statement series, I believe, for the Vaderz.
The gust of wind comes in right as Dalby's delivering that ball. Weather forecast does have this wind calming down after sunset, Trench. I think it'll be a calm night once it gets dark here at Hideaway Field. 2-2. One down, one on. Etter will foul that one back behind the broadcast booth. Stay alive.
Yeah, I feel like the ball's going to have trouble carrying so far tonight as it's side-to-side wind.
Etter will foul another one back. Lead technical director Tom Gannon and I were discussing some of our crazy rules for some possible off-season antics that we'll talk about in between innings, Trench.
That's exciting.
Randy Dalby's going to gas up 59, get Etter to wave at it for the second out.
Tanner Roundy up to bat, and man, he's really come alive the last few weeks, going oppo quite a bit. Let's see if he could get a hold of Randy this inning.
Yeah, Tanner had a slow start, but he's picked it up as of late, batting .315 coming into this series. Down and away. 1-1. 2-1, rather. He's going to go opposite way, but foul. 2-2.
Is there a better opposite field hitter than Tanner Roundy right now? Is there anybody going to the other side more often than him?
We've got a few, but he probably takes the crown there. That's going to be a full count. There's a lot of guys. Ryan Roosh comes to mind. He's really going opposite way very well. Comebacker, Dalby. He's going to go home with it for the third and final out. Night Owls get out of the inning unscathed. And that'll bring us to the top of the second inning. The top of the second is brought to you by Leilani Acuna, the official realtor of PLW. Whether you're buying or selling a home, you now have a realtor trusted by PLW players and family. You can connect with Leilani on Instagram at Leilani Acuna.
Yeah, I mean, for all your home needs, she's going to take care of you. Takes care of these PLW guys anytime they're in a pinch to buy or sell a home. It's good to see her out here doing good things. No damage done either way in that first inning. I wonder how this is going to go the rest of the way. Obviously, Billy Santijuan on his way to trying to win a Cy Young. I'm sure he was excited about being on the bump against these Night Owls, especially taking on the task of James Stein and Randy Dalby.
Santijuan did carry the best ERA in the league for a while. He's dropped back a little bit. James Stein now holds that distinction. Sean Merciel will swing and miss at that knuckleball. 1-2.
Sean Merciel, opposite field single last series for a game winner. I believe it was game number 2. Goes down swinging right there as Barry Hutter will be up to bat right now. And he had a couple home runs in his last series. I think they were both 2-run shots, honestly.
Hutter also a good opposite field hitter. He'll often put it into that power alley towards Little Batty Bakery when he's locked in. And look at that knuckleball in 55. That moved a lot.
Look at that. We got Red Devil, Heroic Bison in there. Some guys I haven't seen in a minute. Love to see that.
Billy's going to gas up with that knuckleball a bit. Hutter will foul it back into the strike zone. 1-2. Comebacker, Santijuan in front of it easily. And he'll retire Hutter.
There isn't a pitcher that makes it look more easy than Billy Santijuan.
Yeah.
He just goes up there real smooth, calm, and feels like he's just going to get the best of each batter every single time he makes a pitch.
He's going to gas up that knuckleball inside on Christie. Gets a swing and a miss. 0-2. One cuts away. Christie holds off. Down and away. 2-2.
Congratulations, Heroic Bison's got a little baby bison.
Congratulations. Little Buffalo. Through the 5-6 hole, Logan Christie aboard with a single. Kyle Etter practicing his outfield throw on that play.
A little Tatanka.
Duelo.
Uh-oh.
I am winding his hair. Randy Dalby is going to go right. Nate Stepna, he's going to knock it down. They're going to go the short route to second base for the third and final out of the inning.
If I'm the Night Owls right there, the one positive I can take away from that inning is they are making solid contact for the ones that they did hit. So watch out in the latter innings with Billy on the mound.
Oh, yeah, that ball by Randy Dalby was smoked. Nate Stepna doing a good job over at third base to get in front of that. Otherwise, you got a whole different situation. I scanned out onto the defensive field for the Night Owls trench, and we probably deserve to tell the viewers what's going on out there. We got Jake Slusher, new acquisition, former Vader, not known for his infield, more for his pitching one with the Vaderz. He's over there playing second base for the Night Owls tonight. Levi Lawrence is in right field. Sean Merciel at shortstop. Alonzo Valencia, another former Vader new acquisition, will play third base. James Stein's out there in left. Of course, Randy Dalby on the bump.
And Randy being on the bump is like having an extra defender. He is very agile off the pitch. So if there's ever some kind of flare or ball that might be, just 10 feet out, he's going to go all out and take those long strides for the out as Alex Hutt.
There's a ball in the field. We should clear that out. Alec Hutt will step in and lead off here in the bottom of the second. Goes behind the back of Hutt for ball one. As the breath of the Wiffle gods finds its way across Hideaway Field. Alec Hutt will go after a high one and swing underneath it.
Yeah, good pitch by Randy right there, high and outside. Alec, a taller player here, takes a swing and a miss, brings the count to 1-2.
He's going to hold off on that one cutting to the outside. Hutt is going to dribble this one over to third baseman Alonzo Valencia. The throw is in there.
He gets it. I'm always a little wary when he makes that throw from third because he doesn't have a cannon, but does hit the backstop. Brandon Mayo in the chat saying, bold move not putting Nate Stepna in the offense right there after the series that he had last week, and I kind of agree with him.
Santi one's going to go over to Slusher. Slusher floats one in. A little bit suspect, but it makes it.
I'm telling you, they got to make these throws because a late error or an error in a crucial spot is going to prove costly.
So one of the things that they also have to do with these new acquisitions is get them some time, get them real game experience playing with the other guys. I think, normally you're going to have Barry out there. Normally you probably have Cody out there, but manager Logan Christie opting to get the new guys out into the field right away here in game number one. Get them feeling comfortable.
Yeah, I'd be curious to pick his brain a little bit on those moves, but so far working out for them as the count goes to 2-2 against Ethan Ibarra. Oh, nasty pitch comes in hot, though, at 58.
Perhaps the confidence in the pitching of Randy Dalby precipitated getting these guys into the field a little bit.
Big pitch coming here for Randy. Remember last time.
Shot right field. That is gone. The wind blowing left to right. Probably would have gone out anyway. Trench, a solo shot by Ethan Ibarra. Vaderz up 1-0.
I mean, that thing started at the Titanic Field sign right there, then went over 40 feet to the big tree on the right side. Home run. I'm curious to see the pitch that came in against Ethan right there on a 3-2 count. As you know, that was kind of a cookie for Ethan right there, and I think Randy really needed to get after him rather than give that up. But solo shots do happen as he's going to face Gio Battistoni.
Battistoni's going to go opposite way. Sean Merciel underneath it. over by third base for the third and final out of the inning, but damage done. Vaderz get on board first. 1-0 off the bat of
Ethan
Ibarra, solo
yeah.
shot.
I mean, those things happen. Solo shots aren't too bad. They'll probably exchange a couple of those this series. I'd expect the Night Owls by Randy or a Stein, even a Levi, to poke one out there. This is going to be a tight match. It's over and under for me is probably right around 3.5.
A lot of points in on the Vaderz, a total of 527,000 and change in on this game, the bulk of it on the Vaderz in this pick'em.
Yeah, I mean, we're only in the top of the third, 360 viewers coming on over. This is a good time to talk to TikTok. Get them over here, Greg. You got that TikTok voice.
TikTok, you are looking at a single camera angle, and it's okay if you're watching for 5 to 10 seconds, but if you want to see a more depth coverage of this game, just follow that link that is right there on the field, twitch.tv/Premier Wiffle. Come over to Twitch. You're going to see multiple camera angles, commentary, instant replay, chat with your friends, bet and redeem Wiffle points.
Yeah, somebody got a hoodie last night, I believe.
James Stein is going to shoot that one right back up the middle over the shoulder of Santiwan, and he's aboard with a leadoff single.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Night Owls, the few times they've made contact off Billy, very clean shots as Levi Lawrence, the big lefty, coming up for the Night Owls with the runner on. No outs here in the top of the third.
Lawrence will swing at the first pitch inside and miss. Falls behind 0-2. And there it is right away, Trench. RATRTIO. This looks so much better on Twitch. Glad to have you here, TikTokers who have made the move. 58 miles per hour is a ball.
Of course, we're using like an iPhone -4 for our little our little TikTok feed, and then over here on Twitch we got some high-end camera gear that I know you guys love using. So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I love TikTok. It absolutely has its purposes. As Levi Lawrence gets frozen there, 52 miles per hour in the middle, he'll strike out looking.
Yeah, that was dancing around. Can't see it too much on that instant replay, but up here in the commentating booth, that thing's got a 8-inch, 12-inch.
It does a little wiggle.
Radius.
If that ball had hips, it was doing, the Watusi there. It just goes back and forth. Hard to make last-second adjustments once you've begun your swing.
A lot of people asking and worried a little bit about is Kirby Bucket okay?
Yeah, Kirby's great. Kirby had a little bit of a mechanical issue as Sean Mercier will swing and miss at that knuckleball for out number 2. Yeah, Kirby's doing well. Kirby is due for yet another upgrade. He had one recently, but it's the powertrain that's going to have yet another addition to it.
And what will that mean? More horsepower?
A little more staying power. Right now, his issue is stamina. As Barry Hutter dribbles one forward, it doesn't pass that cheap line, therefore it stays foul.
So he's just going a little too hard at the beginning and can't sustain, his energy.
Kirby is going to be he's going to be limited to just coming out and bringing the balls to the pitchers in order to make it all the way through the 3-game series. But we'll fix that. So it looks like it did definitely hit the arm of Barry. The question is how far down on the arm of Barry did that hit? They're calling it a foul ball. Knuckleball outside.
And the great thing that Billy's doing right now against the Night Owls is he is up in the count each time, and that allows him to kind of dance around the strike zone a little bit as he ends the Night Owls' hopes in the top of the third.
After giving up a leadoff single, 3 straight strikeouts to retire the Night Owls. Move into the bottom of the third. Vaderz remain up 1-0. And I see all the TikTokers coming over to Twitch. If you haven't done so yet, give us a follow. If you're still on TikTok, go back and let everybody else watching TikTok to know to come over here to Twitch.
Yeah, it just lets me know that they're intelligent people, Greg. They take what you're saying as they know that you're one of the best in the business, and they instantly come on over. But some of the people still, Still hanging out. They got to warm up to what we're doing here. Take another 5, 10 seconds, maybe even half an inning if you want. But let me tell you, when you get over to Twitch, you are not going to be disappointed. You'll wish you came over earlier.
By all means, watch both if you want. We won't discourage that.
No.
You can have TikTok over on the side. No problem with that. But make sure you get in there and redeem your Wiffle points by sitting here and watching on Twitch. You can press that PLW emblem.
When I see Dave Cabrera with the Vaderz outfit on, he really pumps up this team. That Vaderz squad loves having him around as Kyle Etter takes a hack, goes down 0-2. And for the new people that are joining Twitch, they see that, Kyle took one swing and it goes from, it goes immediately to 2 strikes. Why is that, Greg?
Well, we start with 1 strike here in the PLW. Sometimes the game is so fast that the graphics operator doesn't have time to put that 0-1 on as the new batter comes up. But we do try to keep that consistent. But we do start with 1 strike. As Etter shoots that one right up the middle and gets to first base. Tanner Roundy is going to swing and miss.
I bet if you opened up the hood of your computer, grabbed a soldering gun or whatever, you could probably somehow manage to make the count start 0-1 without having to do it.
Yeah, well, it's a third-party program that runs it, so it would be phone calls, emails, appeals to write special code just for us. Not to say that it couldn't happen.
Well, listen, we have 21,000 followers on Twitch, over 200,000 on TikTok. They might make an exception, and you could just bypass the whole press 1, press 2, go straight to the source, and we can make that happen.
I do see some open space on the outfield fence.
Jeez.
That could possibly have a banner on it. Maybe we could figure something out there. Alec Hutt will swing and foul that back. Two to Hutt. Runner on first in the form of Kyle Etter. Swing and a miss, and Hutt will sit down.
Yeah, both these pitchers really attacking the opponent's lineup here, as there's 2. Is it 2 outs here?
Yeah. 2 outs. Tanner Roundy got out, and Alec Hutt got out.
Yeah, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Vaderz up 1-0. Kyle Etter on first base as Billy takes a swing on a pitch high and outside.
Screwball hit lazily to the shortstop Merciel, who will flip it over to Jake Slusher for the third and final out of the inning.
Yeah, this game is cruising along at rapid pace going into the 4th inning. Let's see how Billy Santi won. I mean, nobody's really touched them. They've had a couple good hits when they have made contact, but other than, a couple singles, nobody's been in real scoring position.
Yeah, and Trench, as we alluded to in the pregame, we know what Billy is. He's a known quantity Cy Young candidate. He had been running away with it for most of this season. We'll see if he has the staying power to get that award at the end of the season. But what about the bullpen? Where does it go from Billy?
Right. I mean, luckily for him, it really hasn't had to go anywhere, at least when he's starting. But games 2, games 3, of course, you're going to see Tanner probably come out for game 2, maybe Stepna game 3. Tanner kind of getting bit by the can't go past the first or second inning bug right now, and that's when they really get in trouble. Because Billy, I believe, leads the league in complete games. So when he pitches, he goes through his 6 innings. Of course, you only get 9 per series, so he doesn't have much to work with in games 2 or 3 if he needs to come in.
Yeah, Billy, of course, the wins leader in PLW. He's 11-0. Has not recorded a loss. Couple of no decisions, 5 saves. One's in there 59 for a ball.
He's probably the most reliable pitcher right now in PLW. Oh, that's going to ice.
54. Logan Christie will get caught looking.
Listen, I haven't faced Billy in quite some time, and the Legends next week, I believe, play Billy. I'm kind of curious to see. I haven't seen his new knuckleball. I've only known him, maybe season 2, I believe, throwing it out there, or maybe even season 3, but it's a little nastier these days.
It's nastier, and he's really gotten an ability to change speeds when he wants to. He's not up there just throwing like he was when we first saw him come in. He was just kind of not even looking at the batter, not even looking at the strike zone, just kind of throwing the ball. He is now pitching.
I mean, 99.9% of his pitches are knuckleballs.
Oh, yeah. He'll mix in that rare slider and once in a while raise the eyebrows of a hitter.
This might be the first time I've seen him go down to a hitter 2-1.
55, and James Stein starts laughing as the pitch comes over the home plate. He's going to foul that one off. It's his first one into the zone. You can foul one back into the zone with 2 strikes once. If you do it a second time, you'll be called out. He's going to fight one off in on his hands and stay alive, 2-2.
Yeah, and you can see Stein really fighting it off on that inside pitch. Doesn't know if it's going to come in just a tiny bit and hit that inside pan as he gets him swinging and missing. And that's going to do it for the Owls in the top of the 4th. This is kind of the Vaderz territory right here. 4th, 5th, 6th inning. They kind of put it together.
Billy Santillan will strike out the side there. He's already got 7 strikeouts in this game. He's given up 2 hits so far through 4.
Yeah, I think Randy and James actually are the only ones that have gotten hits off him. They got to string something together to beat this Vaderz team. As you know, they're very explosive, and they could put 2 or 3 on Randy or Stein or whoever, even if they're dealing a solo shot, a walk and a solo shot, whatnot. But 1-0 right now looks like it could be sufficient the way Billy's K'ing these guys.
Logan Christie with the hit, and James Stein with the second hit. Dalby so far. Fly out, ground out, and a strikeout. Facing up
it looks
against
like
Billy
we
Santillan.
have somebody going on the container, and the way it's supposed to go down is you should let them go up first, so just in case they fell back, GK, that you'd be able to grab them. I'm going to teach him container etiquette.
Best seat in the house up there on top of the shipping container in left field, our brown monster here at Hideaway Field. Dalby will go in there at 59 miles per hour. Ibarra spits on it. Ball 1. Down into the turf. 2-1. Swing and a miss from Ibarra. Even the count 2-2. As the winds at Hideaway Field are subsiding as we get closer to sunset.
I love our Twitch chat, man. They make it a lot of fun and entertaining to be able to commentate these games as a full count. Right now, the last time that happened, Ibarra went yard.
And he'll go yard again into the Garden of Serenity. A solo shot. 2-0 Vaderz.
Listen, watch this instant replay. It is not a nasty pitch. It's right in his wheelhouse, kind of let off the gas a tiny bit. And Ethan Ibarra, once again, you cannot lay off against these guys. That's exactly what's going to happen. And, you know, with Randy's experience and his being a veteran in wiffle ball, I think he has to recognize that just a tiny, tiny bit better.
His 20th home run of the season. A solo shot. First pitch down into the dirt to Gio Battistoni.
I mean, I'd much rather see a walk right there and then, you know, whoever you want to bring in, whether it's Levi or Slush or whoever you want to bring in, at least it's not a score.
Mm-hmm.
And Ethan's just too good of a player to not give him your all every single pitch.
Popped up, right side, not deep enough. Levi Lawrence underneath it in right field for the first out of the inning.
And when you're playing for the Vaderz and you're providing Billy 1 run, 2 runs, anything over 2 runs, that's enough. A lot of his wins, he didn't need more than 2 runs.
Sure. And against this Night Owl squad coming into this series, the least amount of runs scored in the league at only 98. The next closest, the Warbirds at 129.
Wow. That's a big time. That's the next closest of what is that? What's the disparity right there?
Oh, we're going to have to put it in order here. Let's do that. So it's 98 for the Night Owls, 129 for the Warbirds, 142 for the Lightning. In the ones, and there goes the bat.
Eder.
That's a foul bat.
Really got to be careful over there on the visitors' side as Eder.
For everyone who has said in the Twitch chat and poked fun at wiffle ball players wearing batting gloves, that's the reason why right there.
Yeah, I mean, your hands get sweaty. It's a plastic bat. You're right on point. That's exactly the reason. You got to grip that bat. But Eder.
Kyle Eder will collect his bat and collect himself as he steps back into the box. Full count. Swing and a miss from Eder.
That's the pitch that needs to happen to Ethan Ibarra. Went after Eder a little bit more right there. Laid off against Ethan. Little suspect on the pitching selections, but good strikeout by Randy there as he's going to face Tanner Roundy now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th.
Tanner Roundy, another batter on the Vaderz, who is a threat to go over the right field wall. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Yeah, and you can see Randy kind of pitching a little lower. He's kind of working that bottom part of the strike zone, and it's working well for him. Looks like when he goes a little higher, of course, you've seen it twice off of Ethan, not working out as well. 500 viewers coming in hot. Game number 1, only bottom of the 4th. I think we might see close to 700 as Randy throws a screwball to Tanner. Gets out of that inning. Listen, it's only 2-0. 2 solo shots by Ethan Ibarra. But right now it feels like a humongous mountain to climb going against Billy, who just struck out the side last inning.
Yeah, Billy Santiwan, of course, locked in as he has been all season long. Already got 7 strikeouts as he puts one off the bar and into the hands of Trench.
Yeah.
We get a lot of souvenirs up here in the booth. We move into the top of the 5th inning. The Vaderz are up by 2. This is game number 1 of a 3-game set between these two teams. The Vaderz, of course, in second place, a half game behind the Ones. They actually have more wins than the Ones right now, but the Ones have 3 games in hand.
Yeah.
As they have a makeup series that will be shown right here on Twitch this Saturday, 6 p.m. between the Ones and the Bombers. Normally off on Saturday, special edition this weekend. Mark your calendars. That makeup game between the Ones and the Vaderz.
Yeah, I mean, Saturday night, unbelievable. We've got 6 days of wiffle ball this week. That's an unbelievable thing that we got going. I'll be on the mic. Who's on the mic with me on Saturday night?
I don't know. We'll have to check the staffing spreadsheet to see who's with you.
Oh, Ethan Wigfield, another
Ethan
legend.
Wigfield. Haven't seen Wigfield up in the booth in a minute. It'll be good to have him back up. Levi Lawrence swings and misses at the first pitch. Lays off the heat from Santiwan, and it's 1-2.
HK Naps, yeah, trying a little something new.
54 and in there, and for the second straight time, Levi Lawrence has gone down looking.
And here's Sean Merciel. Hasn't made contact quite yet. Slow start to game number 1.
Oh, that looked like a slider going outside. Of course, a knuckleball dances right back into the center of the pan.
I mean, when your knuckleball is curving like a slider,
Yeah.
what can you possibly do as he almost gets that inside bar?
Ouch. Swing and a miss on a high knuckle from Billy. What a tink top bar anyhow. Strikeout from Sean Merciel.
There it is once again, and he is really dialed in with this knuckleball tonight. He is making it move about 2 feet, looking like a slider, but also it's a knuckler.
It's like a cheat code. As Hutter will slap that one right side to Battistoni, who's going to spike it. So instead of the 3rd out,
do you hear that?
it's a runner on first. They said, let's make him pay.
They are the wiffle ball gods. Immediately wake up. 2 outs here. Can Logan Christie make them pay?
Logan Christie did have a base hit back in the bottom of the second. One of only 2 hits in this game for the Night Owls.
And this is the only second time I've seen Billy go down in the count 2-1.
Knuckleball outside. The thing about the unpredictability of the knuckleball is sometimes it's just as unpredictable for the pitcher as he takes outside bar on that one to fill the count.
I thought that was going to be ball number 4. Instead, catches that at outside bar. Big pitch here.
Oh, my goodness. Once again, dances in, dances out, dances right back in, and freezes Christie.
Listen, you're watching an unbelievable performance right now by Billy Santiwan. His knuckleball is curving. Normally, it's like a straight ball that kind of does a little moon dance or whatever in a 10-inch radius. This thing is moving 2-3 feet as a curve, but still doing this.
I'm getting sort of my hair standing on end just watching that up here from the announce booth. I can't imagine what's going through the head of the Night Owls batters as they watch that ball go back and forth and freeze them. That is the 4th strikeout looking that Billy Santiwan has delivered.
Yeah, he is nasty. He'd be in my all-time pitchers that I want on my squad.
Doubt.
He is lights out right now. And the 2-0 lead, like we were talking earlier, at any point, he probably has the most wins with all he needs is 2 runs for every start.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to be enough for him to win.
Absolutely locked in. We'll move to the bottom of the 5th. Vaderz will look to tack on some, as Trench would probably say, not needed insurance.
Of course, you never know, but when you're dealing like that, he's going to have to face Randy and Stein next inning, I believe, and get through those guys. But from what I've seen, he's only given up, 2 base hits. There was an error that put somebody on first base, but other than that,
those are the only 3 base runners in this game.
For them to string together 2 or 3 hits is very, very difficult when you're having pitch locations and movement like Billy Santiwan is having tonight.
Alec Hutt is going to watch that one high over the strike zone and take a walk to first base. First walk issued by Randy Dalby.
Billy would love to tack on just a couple right here for those extra insurance runs as he looks at a 54-mile-an-hour slide piece coming in from Randy.
Goes for the screwball, but it doesn't screw. It'd be 1-2. Finger ball. Comebacker past Dalby. A very, very, very slow ball.
What happened right there? It looked like he got out of the way of the ball.
I think he got sort of tripped up a little bit by the spin. You could tell by how slow that ball traveled to second base that it was spinning quite a bit. Got past Dalby. By the time Merciel got it and put 1 bobble on it, didn't matter how much of a laser that throw was, the time it elapsed. 5 seconds is the time limit to make a play to the backstop. Because of that, Santiwan is on first base. Randy Dalby delivering a finger change of his own.
Yeah, you could see he's trying to stay away from Ethan, but what that's going to do is set up a big 3-1 pitch here. And if Randy has to be smart here, he can't lay another one into there. Oh, he got lucky right there.
Ibarra will pop it up to Dalby, who will gather it in for the second out of the inning.
He decided to go with something a little bit more floaty right there, and Ethan almost took advantage for a 3rd time. But 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th, and yeah, I'm reading some of the chat comments, and Randy's pitching a gem as well, other than just 2 pitch locations that he could probably wish he had back. Just 2-0 Vaderz.
I'm going to score that Santiwan base runner as an error on the pitcher. That it looked to be an innocuous comebacker.
I thought it needed to be fielded right there.
Gio Battistoni will swing and miss So no damage done by the Vaderz. But we're going to move in to the top of the 6th inning. It'll be the last chance for the away team Night Owls. They currently trail by 2. The heart of the order, top of the order, is due up.
Yeah.
Gotta get it done here.
And it's going to be a heartbreaker for Randy if he does lose this game to go 6 innings and then take the L, and then he only has 3 innings left for the Night Owls, who definitely would love to have more innings out of him. They just couldn't provide enough offense to even maybe get him out of the game or whatnot. But Billy Santiwan, now he's throwing a curved knuckle, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. The cluckle.
Yeah, it comes out of his hand. It looks like it's going to curve outside of the zone. It dances back in at the last second. He has buckled the knees of 4 Night Owls so far with that pitch. Solo shot. Randy Dalby leads off the top of the 6th and cuts the lead in half.
Look how furious Billy's face is right there. He cannot believe that Randy dug into that one to cut that lead in half, 2-1. And that's why they bring this guy out here on a private jet to do exactly what he's doing. Both these guys going after each other. And this is a big moment for James Stein here in the top of the 6th, down by 1. Billy kind of put that right in his wheelhouse for Randy, though.
Was somebody on base when that error occurred? I don't believe there was. I'm just looking at Sansone 14 Legends comment in the chat. Thought there was nobody on for that. Anyhow, back to the game. Nobody out. James Stein will watch one into the pan at 54, 2-2.
Big pitch coming in right here.
Stein will shoot that over at Stepna. He'll parry it over to Gio Battistoni at second base, who will make the throw in under 5 seconds for the first out of the inning.
Wow, you rarely see something going from shortstop to second base off a deflection.
Third to second.
Or third to second, and that's kind of what Nate Stepna does, adds a little agility out there on the defensive end as Levi Lawrence in a big spot here with the one out in the top of the 6th.
Levi lays off that knuckleball. He's standing a little bit forward in the box. Maybe trying to cut off some of that knuckle break. He's going to hold off that one as well. Good patience from Lawrence here.
Wow, great take by Levi to bring it to 3-1, and Billy's going to go after him right here. You will not see a cookie.
56 miles per hour, a base runner for the Night Owls. 1 away, trailing by 1. Sean Merciel.
Yeah, last week in game number 2, I believe, Sean Merciel put a game-winning opposite field single to the right side. Can he drum up something here? A lot of excitement here in the 6th inning of game number 1.
Swing and misses.
Yeah, that was a good ball to make some contact with. It goes to 1-2. A hush. Silence has come over Hideaway Field.
And
Sean Merciel.
And that gets down. That is called immediately down on the ground by lead umpire Jim Dodos.
Oh, man. Greg Kelly, the Night Owls decide to come alive. You can see Kyle Etter trying to make a case for that catch as he does a couple push-ups, letting himself know that he needs to be a little bit faster. Watch this instant replay, though. Diving play by Etter, and Barry Hutter up to bat with a runner on second scoring position.
First and second, 1 out. Night Owls trail by 1. Hutter will strike out on 2 consecutive pitches, and that'll bring up Logan Christie with the game on the line. Christie's going to pop this one up. It hits a tree and is immediately ruled foul.
Yeah, good pitch by Billy to jam him up right there. He's 1 pitch away, possibly, from ending an exciting game number 1.
Right down to the wire, 2 outs. 57 miles per hour, 1-2.
Yeah, that was a good eye by Logan right there, recognizing that came in a little bit hot.
Go-ahead run on first base. 55 miles per hour, and the Vaderz do it. Santiwan is disgusting.
Oh, man, he said, you're going to look at that one. Double nickels to end the game. What a finale of game number 1 as we have 2 more games to go. Man, this is exciting. Listen, we'll get the starting pitchers for game number 2, and we'll be right back, Greg.
Welcome back to Hideaway Field here in Las Vegas, Nevada. For those of you still with us, you just watched the completion of game number 1 between the Night Owls and the Vaderz. An absolute thriller, came right down to the wire. In the end, the Vaderz end up pulling it off by a score of 2-1, 12 strikeouts by Billy Santiwan.
Yeah, and that last one was maybe his 6th one looking, I believe, 5th or 6th one looking. You got to make contact right there, but that's a testament of how nasty his pitches are. You think they might be coming in hot. You think they might be going on the outside pan and miss completely. He is dialed in right now. Each of the top 2 pitchers, Randy and Billy, have gone through their 6 innings. They each only have 3 left for the remainder of this series. We'll see how that plays into each team's bullpen. What do you think? What do you got for game number 2 for the starters?
We have James Stein for the Night Owls. Very much expected. Their ace will take the mound. And it's Nate Stepna for the Vaderz in game number 2.
Yeah, I like that. You know what? Nate Stepna stepped up last series, pitched real well. Obviously, on when he was hitting, he hit well as again. I think you might see him in the lineup in replace of Alec Hutt this series. I wouldn't be surprised if Sasai makes that, or Billy, actually, the manager, makes that move. So Stein's going to have to dish it out here and provide a win for these guys to maybe get a rubber match going. A tough loss for Randy. Only gave up basically 2 solo shots, cost them the game to their best hitter, basically. And yeah, that's gonna play into the Vader's hands that Randy got the loss and only has three innings remaining.
But here in game 2, it's a whole new story. Of course, James Stein, the league leader in ERA, 1.19. Trent.
Wow,
so
1.19.
As effective as Billy Santiwan was for the Vaderz in game number 1, expect that kind of brilliance from James Stein here in game number 2. Turnabout is fair play. On the other side, Nate Stepna, 4.09 ERA coming into this series. And as you mentioned, we might see him offensively as well. I think the Vaderz have been trying to give Alec Hutt a lot of repetitions. He is a rookie. He needs to see the ball and understand the timing differences between baseball and wiffle ball. Of course, he is an accomplished baseball player. Nate Stepna hitting .278 coming into this series, so if that substitution is made, that wouldn't be surprising in the least.
Yeah, and the Vaderz know, and in order for them to catch up to the ones, they need to win out in this series, and I wouldn't be surprised if Billy made that move to Stepna on offense. But on the other side, the Night Owl side, what do they need to do offensively against Nate Stepna here?
Well, they're just going to need to put up runs, and that has been the problem for them all season long. A brand new lineup, though, a brand new set of faces, guys that do square up the ball a little bit better. I feel like manager Nick DeVella, before he handed over the reins to Logan Christie, felt like his lineup had just become stagnant. They dealt Matty Levine, who was not hitting well. They dealt A.J. Petrovsky, who after getting Rookie of the Year consideration over there in season number 1, had fallen off considerably.
Yeah, he hit like 23 or 25 home runs his rookie campaign. Very good season, and then kind of just fell out of his zone, and I believe he got moved over to, he's a Sand Viper.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah. Sand Vipers did pick up A.J. Petrovsky for cash considerations. He's now a member of the Sand Viper squad. But here it is, game number 2, set to get underway. Nate Stepna will take the hill for the Vaderz. Randy Dalby will lead off for the Night Owls. Don't forget to get your wiffle points in. It is a pick'em. About 3-1 you're getting on the Night Owls right now.
I'd have to go with the odds on this one, just in case the Owls could get a couple, 2 or 3 on Stepna. You'd be looking pretty good, especially with a James Stein on the mound leading the league in ERA, but he has to face a very brutal Vaderz offense.
Agree to agree, Trench. getting nearly 3-1. My Wiffle points are on the Night Owls here in Game 2.
Yeah, that was a great fend off by Randy with a late swing right there on a nasty curve by Nate.
Another fend off, probably a foot over his head. Randy Dalby standing in about, 6'5"? Plenty of reach from the big righty. He's going to shoot that one down the third baseline, foul. The count stays 1-2.
525 viewers watching the beginning of game number 2.
We're about to get some more.
Are we?
Yeah, we're about to get some more because everybody who's watching on TikTok doesn't know that Twitch is a better production in every way. Follow the link on the field. TikTokers, let us know as Randy Dalby goes yard. A lead-off solo home run gets the Night Owls on board first.
Wow, what a rip by Randy. Unfortunately, if you're watching TikTok, you don't get the zoom in of the ball going over the fence or him rounding the bases and the instant replay of the pitch and the velocity that he took it out on. So you got to come over to Twitch to see that as Randy puts that Night Owls up 1-0, and the people that took the odds, all 200,000 points on the Night Owls.
Oh, they're pouring in now, Trent.
Yeah, they do that, don't they?
James Stein is going to lace this one over at Billy Santiwan playing the third base position. Of course, that is going to be necessary after they dealt Alonso Valencia over to the Night Owls.
How many runs did you say the Night Owls have scored this year?
They came into this series having scored 98.
I think Randy has scored like 72 of them.
I'm sure that's not true, but we'll check out those stats.
I mean, he's just been a one-man show offensively for the Night Owls.
Levi Lawrence showing some good discipline at the plate this evening. And he'll watch that one as well. If I didn't have a pen in my hand, I would have caught that.
Is that a wild pitch?
No, because it hit the carpet and bounced up. Just that little lip of the batter's box. Levi Lawrence will watch 4 straight balls and walk over to first base.
Yeah, Levi, normally a guy that doesn't really want to walk. He wants to make cuts, comes out here to play some offense and do what he does. But walks are a humongous thing here in the PLW as you only get 2 per game.
Yep. If Nate Stebna were to walk another batter, he would be out for the game. He can still hit or play defense, but he can't pitch anymore for the duration of the contest.
Yeah, you'd probably see Jason Walker come in, or even Kenny Santiwan.
Sean Merciel's going to put one over the head of Kyle Etter. It's going to hit the container in the air for a triple. That'll score Lawrence, and it's 2-0 Night Owls.
Yeah, listen, I love Kyle Etter's defense normally, but all these guys can hit. You cannot get burned on this field on a play like that. If you were just 4 feet back, that is a routine catch fly out for Sean Merciel, but instead it's a triple for him and gets their second run in.
Yeah, unless that wind is blowing straight in from left at a considerable velocity, there's not too many balls where you can't start at the fence and run your way in, as Logan Christie is going to hit one. Tag play, and Sean Merciel will make it home easily and nearly destroy the backstop.
Oh, man, the Night Owls jumping on top of the Vaderz 3-0 all over Nate Stebna. That was a good tag up by Sean from third base, the only time we run here in Premier League Wiffle.
We're going to see rookie Dakota Pikyavit here in the 6th hole for the Night Owls.
And again, I hate to harp on it, but if you're watching on TikTok, you don't even know there's somebody on third.
Yep.
Here on Twitch, there's a Skycam operator 12 feet in the air working that camera to make sure you guys get the close-ups of everything that's happening here on Twitch. Come on over as he goes down 1 and 2. 2 outs here in the first inning. Night Owls all over the Vaderz right now, 3-0.
Yeah, only 12 at-bats for Pikyavit coming into this series. He is a free agent pickup. They really need to get at-bats.
He's done, isn't he?
That's it for Stebna. 2 walks, and he'll be done. It looks like Tanner Roundy is running in from right field, and he'll replace Stebna on the mound.
No Kirby, huh?
Kirby's here.
Yeah, there's Curbs.
Check him out. Kirby Bucket right on out there. he has a little bit of work done under the hood.
What happened to the bandana? I loved that.
The bandana was giving him a little too much back weight, so it was pitching the front wheels up.
Okay, a little back drag.
Yep. So we needed to actually put a little bit of weight in the front wing of Kirby there to give him more downforce.
Are you going to put a spoiler on him?
We might have to do that. And if you ever watch F1, you'll notice they have a spoiler on the back and the front to get that downforce and really keep the wheels onto the ground. And, of course, Kirby.
Look at that, Greg. Look at the air he gets off that ramp. An amazing, amazing job by Kirby. And he's doing it all. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get him in some kind of competition against other buckets out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, he's ranked #1 in PLW buckets.
Oh, yeah, he's the most famous bucket in wiffle ball at this point.
So we got Tanner Roundy on the bump right now, and you know he's gotten bitten by
I'm looking at Kirby abandonment.
Oh, no.
Okay, Kirby's coming. Okay. You can't abandon Kirby.
No, I mean, if
Spurrier
anything,
was doing such a great job.
I was going to talk about Tanner a little bit. If he needs to throw some innings right here, otherwise they're going to have to go to Walker early as well. I expect Tanner, who pitched, has the ability to go all 6, but he has been struggling of late.
Screwball from Tanner Roundy. That is one of his nastiest offerings. And yeah, I've noticed the same thing as well, Trench. Once he gets past the walk bugaboo, he usually can get dialed in for longer innings.
Listen, we've got Hag in the chat saying Kirby needs to join BattleBots.
Oh, wow.
And I think what we can do there, Greg, as another screwball comes from Tanner to get Randy and to get out of the inning, is maybe in the bucket, the wiffle balls are little like grenades, and they could be launched at the other BattleBots to try to blow them up. Is that something that you think you could work on in your garage, Greg?
The time that would be necessary to implement those sort of features on Kirby Bucket is something that I probably am a little short on now, however.
But what about the idea, though? I mean, you see the other guys putting saws and flamethrowers. I think if we could detonate some of these other BattleBots, Kirby Bucket could be on, like, Discovery Channel, ESPN, possibly on the front page of Time Magazine.
Las Vegas is a big city. We have a very big university here in town. I don't know if they have a robotics department, but possibly worth looking into, see if some students want to lend some of their time towards, some of their internship credits to enter Kirby into some sort of robotic competition. Right now, I do feel that he's fairly defenseless against the other BattleBots, so
yeah,
we'd have to get something working.
He does have those LED lights, so maybe they get blinded a little bit. They don't know where they're going, and he might have a little bit of an advantage there as James Stein is warming up. And I don't know if you could see, but if you zoom in on his shoe, I'm looking at, it looks like his shoelaces are matching his outfit right now. J-Dub, can we get a zoom in on his shoelaces right there?
And I would like to see, are they double knotted? He went with the shorter shoelaces, Trench.
Look at that. They're like orangey gold.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like it. Those laces are looking good. He used to go with the 40-inch laces. I think he's gone down to the 24-inch laces.
Yeah. As you know, I call him James Shoelace Stein, and he's really performing right here before his Game 2 start.
ERA league leader, James Stein, will step up on the bump. His first pitch, 54 miles per hour, and in there.
Immediately, that kind of de-stresses you when you get that first pitch strike. Let's see what he drums up here on an 0-2 count.
Triple log 1-2-2. Field dimensions are 93 to the left field foul pole, 91 to right, 113 to dead center.
It's going to even up the count, 2-2. Immediately goes into a big pitch scenario against Ethan Ibarra. He takes a cut right there.
Ibarra fights that one off. 2-2. As we have over 700 viewers watching game number 2 here on Twitch.
He's going to have to sit down on that slide piece. And that was a good pitch by James Stein. Watch the instant replay right here. A lot of movement, and Ibarra couldn't do anything but just walk back to the dugout on a reverse K.
That last pitch looked a lot like his first pitch. He's going to drop down sidearm there, go with a sort of sidearm screwball.
Sidearm Stein.
To you about a Stony Falls behind 0-2. They'll watch a pitch outside for ball 1. As the sun is setting here in Las Vegas, so is the wind. Very calm conditions, at least down on the Tier 1 level trench.
Yeah, and Stein having a 3-run lead. He's feeling it. A
Fair
ball over to Zoe.
Fair ball. Zoe will take it in at the first base position, float it in for out number 2.
I could only just smile every time Zoe makes a throw, man, because it's a very unorthodox. The reason he kind of has that like half-cocked throw is because he could easily displace his shoulder.
Yeah, his shoulder's wrecked.
Yeah, so every time he throws too hard, his shoulder will pop out of place.
54 again. James Stein can just dial up that pitch whenever he wants it. It's scary.
I feel like he just knows where the weakest parts are for the batter. Like he pitches to the weakest points of the swing for the batter.
He's going to reject that ball, ask for a new one.
Oh, what if we just rejected his shoelaces?
Drop piece 58. 2-2.
Fury unwrites. You're watching a brand new game number 2. We play 3 a night as Eder is going to go straight to Slusher, and that's going to be out number 3. Good first inning for James Stein, and you could see on the right-hand side, Kyle Eder very, very frustrated with his hitting so far.
As we go into the top of the second, I'm seeing a poll in the chat. Would you spend Wiffle points on a Kirby replica? Of course, the answer to that poll, an overwhelming yes. So it looks like maybe at the end of this season, we'll talk about something we had sort of tossed around as an idea, and maybe we'll raffle off Kirby Bucket to a lucky PLW viewer.
Yeah, just a replica of him we'll do, as we would never give away Kirby Bucket, but I think you could kind of do a little...
it would take a lot of Wiffle points for the actual Kirby Bucket.
I don't even know if there's Wiffle Ball points that would get the real Kirby Buckets, but I think if you got some parts in your garage, I think you could whip up another one and send it to a viewer. Maybe one of our 650, 700 Twitch viewers right now would want that. You know my idea, Greg, and I think you liked it last time we were up here. We need to call Hot Wheels Mattel, and we need to have a little Hot Wheels Kirby Bucket.
Oh, that's got to happen.
And then you put it on the mantle. It's a stocking stuffer. You could put it in your office.
It's got to happen.
Maybe instead of a ring, you could give that to your newlywed, or what,
a Matchbox car.
Yeah. Micro Machine.
James Stein faces Tanner Roundy. He'll watch a slider in there, 51 miles per hour. Nods his head in approval. Screwball gets James Stein to swing and miss.
That's the Tanner that everybody knows and loves and remembers, especially if you're a hitter, is that screwball. It is so nasty, and it moves a ton and at a very, very fast clip.
Here's Levi Lawrence.
Mark Tavano of the Sandvipers is saying, I would use Kirby Bucket as a centerpiece in my office when I have my meetings.
I mean, he is a bucket. You could put refreshments in there, maybe a little hummus, pita.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Maybe get some tortilla chips around. Yeah, all the pita bread.
Screwball. Of course, a screwball will jam a lefty. Levi Lawrence does a good job fighting that off. 1-2. Screwball again, low. 2-2.
Ooh, I like that, Fury. Kirby Buckets would make a perfect dugout mascot.
Let's go with the slider high and inside. And Lawrence works the count full.
Yeah, Levi, more than anything, would probably love to draw a walk right here. And
he'll do exactly that. Said it before, we'll say it again. Lawrence, especially patient this evening.
Yeah, that's his third walk, I believe, of the night as Sean Merciel is up. He had a big hit his last at-bat.
Merciel with a triple in the top of the first. Got Kyle Letter playing in a bit shallow in left field. Went over his head, hit the container. Tink outside 50. Good pitch from
You can
Roundy.
see Sean kind of squinting like, man, that had some movement. Nothing I could do right there.
Screwball inside. Does not break back. Marcel holds off, and the count is 2-2.
Big pitch coming up right now for Tanner Roundy.
Slider high, full count. This has got to be a strike, or Tanner Roundy is done.
You know, Sean, also a good opposite field hitter.
It is ball 4. Tanner Roundy has walked out of this game. Back-to-back walks to Levi Lawrence and Sean Marcel.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to go to Santi one. It's going to be Ibarra, Walker, or Kenny Santi too.
A discussion near the pitching rubber, and it looks like Kenny Santiwan is walking out.
I think they're just talking about defensive alignment right now, and what they want is Kirby is going out there to help out Kenny Santiwan, the brother of Billy Santiwan.
Kenny came out of the dugout with balls in his hand, and as you know, that infuriates Kirby Bucket. That's his job, is to bring those balls out to the mound, and when he is not allowed to do his job, he gets a little agitated.
Yeah, he looks a little irritated. He's kind of sitting there with a grin.
He doesn't like to be waved aside.
He's out of there.
We'll have to talk to Kenny about that. Kenny Santiwan has a knuckleball of his own, also features a slider. I've seen his knuckleball in BP Trench. It's nasty. But that is right down the middle. Barry Hutter lifts it, and as such, Kyle Letter makes an easy play in left center.
Eder has lots of speed there in left field. Comes up on that one as Dakota up to bat right now.
Dakota really needs to get a lot of at-bats and games played so he can become playoff eligible. 20 games to become eligible for the postseason here in PLW. So Dakota's going to be in this lineup for the foreseeable future. Knuckleball will hit Pickivit.
Yeah, right here.
Yes. The answer to your question, the private question in the booth, is a resounding yes.
As Dakota's looking at a 2-2 count. 2 runners on here in the top of the second. The Night Owls threatening one more time.
Santiwan's going to step off.
It's a big pitch right here.
Popped up, right side. Foul territory. It'll stay foul. As Battistoni cannot gather it in as it hit the top of the dugout.
That almost went through the slats right there on the dugout. I wonder, that would have been an amazing play.
Hot cocoa in the booth. As Pickivit, center field, and Tanner Roundy all the way over from the 102 in right center will make the play at the pocket radar sign to rob Pickivit of what looked like was going to be a triple.
Wow, a lot of speed, a lot of range by Tanner Roundy right there, making up what he couldn't do on the bump on defense right there. That they, hold the Owls right there from scoring, as James Stein is going to be back on the bump, and he looked good in that first inning.
Yeah, back-to-back walks. Looked like the Owls were really going to threaten to extend this lead, but a couple of flyouts.
Woo! Man, that ball coming in hot, hitting some of your gear. I want to talk to TikTok really fast.
Do it.
You guys are just watching from one camera angle. We have 4 times that amount here on Twitch. We have a Skycam operator 12 feet in the air working a tripod with a camera on it. Commentators up here. You could bet wiffle ball points, redeem things like hoodies, mugs, signed. I think James Stein has a pair of shoelaces that are up on the merch store. And hang out on Twitch. Some of these guys, this is our 4th season. A lot of these people have been here for all 4 seasons. A very, very veteran crew we have. And don't forget about the stream team. It takes about 10, 12 of us to get this production going. So we are the real deal.
Yeah, it's not just a TV show, it's a community. As Tanner Roundy will hit that one over at Alonso Valencia, third base. He'll float it in and retire him for the first out.
Tripod trench.
Nate Stepna does indeed slot in for Alec Hutt in the 5th hole.
don't forget, GK, if pop up to Stein right here, if you have an Amazon Prime account and you're sick of looking at all the ads on Twitch, especially in highlight moments,
you
get rid of those.
Yeah, just subscribe with Prime.
It's free.
It's absolutely free. If you have an Amazon Prime account, just type !Prime into the chat. You'll need to do it from a PC. It won't work if you're using the Twitch app on your phone. So you just need to get in front of a computer, but it's worth it. Sean Merciel will take the grounder and put it into the strike zone for the third.
Amazing.
How often he does that?
That he could hit the strike zone from short probably about 85, 90% of the time. But when he gets on the mound, has a difficult time hitting that strike zone. But a good job by Sean right there, as that was a very fast inning. How many pitches was that from Stein?
1, 2, 3 inning. I don't know if he threw more than 5 pitches. He had a ground out, a fly out, and a ground out. A lot of people swinging at the early offerings. 1, 2, 3. We get back here to the top of the third. Night Owls are up 3-0, and will look to extend. There it is. Springtime in Las Vegas, usually rather windy, but it's been curtailing a bit. April, historically our windiest month. We are into May now. Things are calming down a bit here at the Hideaway.
Yeah, there's a little bit, as you could see on that right center, a little bit of a Tier 2, Tier 3 wind, but about 40 feet and under, and it's pretty calm right now.
Randy Dalby will lead off here in the top of the third. And he's going to shoot this one just foul. Laced down the third baseline, but whatever spin he imparted on it wasn't enough to bring it back into the container, so it's just one long strike. Santiwan will gas up 67. One-two to Dalby. Dalby's going to wait on that one, but just get underneath it. He'll pop it up to Ibarra for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, he tried to wait on it, just couldn't wait on it long enough. Pop out right there to Ethan Ibarra as James Stein is looking to do some damage. One out here in the top of the third, game number 2.
James Stein will foul that one back into the backstop. Fall behind 0-2 to Kenny Santiwan. Knuckleball high. Ball number 1. If you're down below, if you can kind of get rid of the points and open up the pole so we can see it. Nate Stepna over at third. A couple shuffle steps to his right, gets in front of it, gathers, and makes the put out.
Yeah, he also makes it look very easy as well on a routine grounder as Levi Lawrence up to bat, walked his last time up.
Current poll up, Vaderz runs scored in game number 2. Over 2.5 or under 2.5. A lot of votes coming in for over 2.5. We'll see if James Stein has anything to say about that. Levi Lawrence will hold off on the gas.
I'm getting that feeling, GK. I feel like Levi Lawrence, if it's not this at-bat, in the next 1 or 2 at-bats, might plant one over there in the Garden of Serenity.
Ladies and gentlemen, when Trench gets a feeling like this,
man,
it usually comes true.
That was the hack, too.
Everyone's eyes lit up, including the commentators and Levi Lawrence, as that pitch was an absolute cookie.
I just feel like he's got a good eye tonight, and he's barely missing.
Yep. Levi Lawrence very locked in.
Look at that, Acre, Amazon Prime, immediately listening to some expert commentary.
Inside, Lawrence takes his 4th walk of the night.
Wow, very impressive. Levi Lawrence really making it known that he is only going to be swinging at really good pitches as Sean Merciel is up, 2 out, Levi on first, and he takes one just foul.
Might come back still. Hold on, Sean.
First pitch was hung. Merciel got in front of it.
Look at that Storm Glider saying, by the way, you could use Prime on your mobile. Maybe he's got some secret thing going on.
You can absolutely use it. And Storm Glider, if you were able to sign up using your mobile, then that would be something that's new. It has been a problem for a lot of our viewers to actually make the connection between Prime and Twitch on your mobile phone. But once you do it on a PC, you can absolutely come back to mobile. Sean Mercier will swing underneath that one. He'll strand Levi Lawrence over at first base. The score will remain 3-0 as we move into the bottom of the third.
Yeah, to me, this inning is going to be very crucial for James Shoelace Stein. I believe if he could get past this third inning, he's gonna roll his way into a game number 2 win. But the Vaderz, they're kind of going into their second time around, 2.5 times around, seeing Stein right here. If he could get past them, then I think Stein's locked in, and he might look for a game 2 win.
Yep. As you said, in game number 1, 1 or 2 runs is usually enough for Billy Santiwan. 3 runs is probably enough for James Stein as well, though the Night Owls will never be shy about trying to add on some more.
Yeah, I mean,
As there go the shoelaces.
Yeah, there they are. But again, it's the Vaderz also, and like you said, 5 of their guys are batting over 300. They have a lot of power numbers. It's difficult to get past the Ibarras and Tanners and Geos every single time.
And if we're looking at runs scored, Trench, we said the Night Owls came into this series having only scored 98, which is the worst in the league. The Vaderz, 193 runs scored, the best in the league.
Yeah, so about 100 more than the Night Owls.
A plus 59 run differential, also best in the league for the Vaderz.
Jordan Brooks. Subscription with Prime, an absolute stud right there. Thank you so much. You are part of PLW Nation right now. Love seeing that.
Ethan Ibarra falls behind 1-2. That one will hit Ibarra in the shoulder to even the count.
Two count.
Shot over to Alonso Valencia. He's just going to bat it over, and Sean Mercier will pick it up on the run and deliver a laser beam into the backstop.
He did not let the footsteps of Slusher slow him down at all. Watch the complete play from Sean right there. He just went after that, made a beautiful, beautiful play, and Stein's got to recognize his defense right there.
Great job by Mercier. And also a great job by Gio Battistoni to wait 5 seconds to allow that replay to go before stepping into the box. Really love the cooperation of the players here in PLW. Obviously, very tight quarters. And you'll see players sometimes step into the box immediately after a play is made. Gives us no time to run that replay. The Vaderz really cooperative in that regard. As Gio Battistoni strikes out.
A lot of people coming in on the Prime subscription. Love that. They're going to be so happy. Not only that, you get 20% more wiffle ball points when you're just watching.
Shot into left field over the container, and Kyle Eder with a solo shot will break the shutout. Vaderz get one on the board, 3-1.
Yeah, he really turned on that one. That was high and tight, but Kyle Eder, no doubt, is a really, really good player, and he's obviously campaigning himself to get that ROY, and he's on pace to do it.
Little bit of banter back and forth between these teams, lighthearted in nature, as Tanner Roundy steps into the box, and he'll shoot the first pitch over into left field, but Randy Dalby underneath it for the third and final out of the inning. But the Vaderz do their work cutting into the lead. It is now 3-1 Night Owls.
Yeah, and I said if he could get past those power alleys right there, he might go on to win game number 2. He gives up a solo shot, and that does happen. Believe you me, he did not want to give anything up. But giving up a solo shot right there, that's okay. The Vaderz haven't strung anything together quite yet. And as you know, the Vaderz power hitters, that's going to happen. So I think he did a good job in that third inning. As Truemark, also subscribing with Prime. Love to have you part of this stream team and the community of PLW. TikTok, you got to get on over and join this community. Also, just anytime we talk about lasers down the left side, right side, zoom-ins and graphics, you're just not able to see any of that. So the best thing you could do is just go over to twitch.tv/Premier Wiffle, and you'll be part of the best production that you've probably ever seen, honestly. And to be a part of something like this, we're so engaging. We love our fans. We've become friends with everyone, and obviously the 140, 50 guys that come out here week after week we're all buddies doing things together. So this is just a great community.
Best production you've ever seen? Probably not. Best Twitch production for live sports played in a literal backyard? Absolutely. Barry Hutter's going to go right at Ethan Ibarra, and it sticks to his fingers.
Wow, good play. Good play. Dives to his left, snags that one. He's saying that's how you do it, Kyle.
Got some viewers up there on top of the container tonight.
Yeah.
Live spectators. Personally invited guests of some of the players. Get to have the best seat in the house. There's a lot of great places to sit and relax in Las Vegas. I'm thinking like the Terrace Cafe at the Wynn, the restaurant at Bellagio overlooking the fountains, and then right there on top of the container in left field here at Hideaway. Dakota Pikiewicz will watch a pitch down center pan 53 miles per hour. Full count.
Don't forget, I was just reading in the chat, somebody shouting out a lot of our sponsors. Tonight in Tarantino's, he's got his TV on, dishing out PLW in his restaurant. Roll the Veg in Fred's Tavern on the east side. He's making sure the game's on in his restaurant. Love seeing that, and I know Big Al has a store as well that they air our games. So we're really getting through this community so that people that are hanging out, shopping or eating really could see what PLW is all about.
And ViperFan91 letting everybody else know in the chat that if you want to give it a subscription to PLW will get you 3 times the amount of Wiffle points every time you watch. It'll get rid of those ads, and it'll also contribute directly to the PLW community.
Watch for the airmail.
Stoney will throw a little bit of a riser, but it'll stay underneath the top of the backstop for the third out of the inning.
Yeah, good play, Umunda. It's Fred's Tavern on the east side. Roll the Veg. One of my buddies has a restaurant in there, and he makes sure that there's a TV going, airing our games Tuesday through Friday for Tarantino's. Love the community followship we have with them as we're going to go into the bottom of the fourth. And the Vaderz got to Stein with a solo shot out of Kyle Etter last time. Are they going to be able to get to him one more time to make this a little closer of a game?
You got to imagine that the Vaderz are certainly capable of eating slowly into this lead. The Night Owls are going to have to probably produce a couple more runs if they want to hang on to this one, Trench.
Yeah, no doubt. Umunda, every time I'm in Tarantino's, man, I went with Andrew Leday and his father last week. Remember, he stood me up 2 weeks ago.
You guys had a makeup date?
We had a makeup date. Went out with Leday, Nick DeVella came over. They got the lasagna, some zucchini sticks, the chicken parm sandwich. Absolutely.
Chicken. The chicken parm is the best.
Chicken.
The best not chicken I've ever tasted.
Yeah, man, they really do it up well.
Nate Stepna will step in to the box.
Triple goes subscription with Prime, and they're really pouring in right now. And they got to be happy with that.
54 miles per hour somehow. Stepna thought it was hot. Nate Stepna is going to lift this one over to Sean Merciel waiting in the shortstop position for out number 1.
Stein doing a good job jamming Step right there as we're going to watch Billy Santiwan up to bat. And this guy's been a singles machine most of the season, but this series so far hasn't really got a bat on ball.
Speeds up and goes down into the turf.
And like Billy, you rarely see Stein go like 3-2, 3-1, or 3, full count status. It's always up in the count, and that's what makes these guys so nasty. Look how this off-speed pitch gets Billy looking silly.
Stein should have to throw 3 strikes. Just take away that 0-1 for him. It's not fair.
Here's Ethan Ibarra.
He's going to shoot that into the gap in left center. Looks like Dalby does a good job getting a hand on it after it bounced, prevents it from hitting the back wall. And it will be a single for Ibarra.
And if you watch the pitching location that Ibarra has hit his 3 best shots, they're all high pitches. And you have to recognize that that's his power alley right there.
Gio Battistoni will step in with 1 on and 2 away. Tying run at the plate. Instead, he'll roll over it. Alonso Valencia will get in front of it at first base, flip it over to Merciel at second. For the force out and the third out of the inning, Vaderz unable to eat into that lead.
Yeah, listen, going to your left right there, then turning around and hitting the shortstop for that out, force out on second is not an easy play for Zoe.
Yep.
But he made it look easy on stream. Good play by Zoe right there to get out of that bottom of the fourth.
Zoe does a real good job on the corners. Might look unconventional to a lot of our new viewers who are coming into the stream. However, it's really optimal to get down onto the ground, prevent that ball from getting past you when you're playing at those hot corners. As we take a look at that beautiful Las Vegas sunset.
And I don't know, I don't know if there's a transformer coming from the outer space, but it looks very, very similar from when I first saw Transformers. Is that Optimus Prime might be coming in?
Yeah, we'll have to
He's looking for Kirby.
We'll have to keep an eye on that contrail.
Telling you, Kirby might be.
Trench.
What?
A hype train is incoming right now here in game number 2.
Man.
As James Stein is at the plate.
We're going to really, really need our Twitch viewers to get involved in this one as we already almost completed level 1. And you look at Dodos. You know when Dodos is on stream and in the chat and there's a hype train, he loves dishing out those bits, man.
Swing and a miss from James Stein will be the first out of the inning. We're going to get through level 1, no problem. You can sub, you can gift, you can use bits to get to the next level. There are 5 complete levels of a hype train. We'd love to get that hype train completed tonight. If you contribute to a hype train that gets completed, you'll get special emotes that you can use in the chat. Level 1.
And look at that. Matt
Complete.
Patricus giving 51. J-Rock, my teammate, throwing 100 bits out there. We got a big series tomorrow night against the Lightning. Make sure you tune in for that one.
Level 1 is complete. Levi Lawrence is going to go right up the middle left side of second base. A base hit for Lawrence. He's been very composed at the plate tonight.
I'm proud of my boy right there, Levi Lawrence, being very, very patient. Waited on that, smoked it right up the middle as Sean Merciel up to bat as Kenny hits that outside pipe with a knuckleball. Buck Burner coming in hot with 200 bits. Remember, he was here last night umping some of that game.
That's Levi Lawrence's 4th plate appearance in this game, but only his first recorded at-bat as he walked 3 times. It's a single here in the top of the 5th. Sean Merciel will swing and foul off the first pitch, fall behind 0-2. He'll watch that knuckleball down into the turf, 1-2. Level 2 of the hype train. Don't let that hype train peter off now, PLW Nation.
Absolutely not. We still got over 3 minutes on that one.
I believe it's 2-2.
As Sidekick gifted a Tier 1 sub to Christopher.
I believe it's 2-2.
All right, 2-2.
They are really, really going off here. 2-2 count to Sean. Good
down.
yeah, that was a good fend off by Sean right there. I think that was going to hit outside pipe. And look at that, J-Lo in the chat.
Outside, full count to Merciel. As hype train 61% of the way through level 2. 57 is ball number 4. And Sean Merciel will head over to first base. Kenny Santiwan will head to the dugout.
Yeah, you're probably going to see Jason Walker right now, and there's Kirby Buckets coming out one more time. We got 3 minutes left on this level 2 hype train. Make sure you get in on that. J-Lo loving life right now. Lots of fun I had with her the other night commentating. She's getting her own little fan club, GK. A lot of the people watching PLW, I think they're falling in love with J-Lo a little bit. She's got expert knowledge of Premier Wiffle, and I think she could really take. And we had the thinking that maybe she'd take over the managerial responsibilities of the Lightning. She really wanted that responsibility, and I think PLW Nation is behind that.
So J-Lo, new manager of the Lightning. Is that an official announcement?
Listen,
Are we going to get a graphic up there on the screen?
Who was I talking to? Was it Stein, I think, or I forget? And I asked him if it was Stein. I believe. I go, what do you think? Could J-Lo do a better job? And he's like, I'm not going to say she would do a better job, but she's definitely not going to do any worse.
Oh, we like to poke fun at Sparkles as he stands right next to us. We are almost halfway through level 3 of this hype train. Don't let this train stall on the tracks. Of course, every level becomes increasingly harder.
Oh, no.
3-2, and that is an inning-ending double play. A dribbler down the third baseline from Barry Hutter.
Yeah,
is
that's
going
a
to stop.
heartbreaker, GK. An absolute heartbreaker to get a rollover right there when you're feeling good about your team, maybe scoring another run. But listen, Stein's going to have to come out here, pitch the bottom of the 5th, and try to get something going. Kyle Etter kind of gave me the old, I think I'm going to go
Ushka.
I'm going to go yard right here, Trench, and we're going to have to see it.
Well, the rule for Kyle Etter is that every time he hits a home run, he undoes one of the buttons on his jersey. Mm-hmm. If he were to strike out, he has to button one back up. We've talked about this pregame.
Yeah, so I don't know if I want him to do too well. We want him to stay nice and tight.
Barry Hutter definitely disappointed himself with that inning.
It's
double
such a
play.
crusher. You
You
feel
just
like
know you can hit it with one out, hit it
man.
anywhere but there. That 3-2 double play is just too easy to make. As Kyle Etter will step in here in the bottom of the 5th. His team trails by 2. And watch that first pitch into the pan at 55 miles per hour.
Kyle looks back at that speed, and he can't believe he just got ice on a double Nichols to bring him down 0-2.
He'll speed up, go 64 miles per hour, and it's 1-2. Only 2.5 minutes left, and we're only halfway through level 3 of this hype train. We're going to need some of you guys to dig into the sub bank, into the bit bank. And Alonso Valencia is going to go ahead and get a practice throw in from third base.
Triple OG's working on getting more viewers. I don't know how you're going to do it, but make it happen. He sent it to his WhatsApp group.
That works.
I like that.
Put it on your social media page. Put it on your Facebook, your Twitter, your TikTok, your Instagram.
Yeah.
Copy and paste that URL. Get everybody tuned into PLW here.
Yeah, I have my Legends jersey on my Hot or Not app. I don't know if you were a part of that, but I guess it's a pretty hot thing going on right now.
I heard about it about 20 years ago. Kyle Etter swings and misses, and he will sit down for out number 1.
I haven't gotten much response, but I think the Legends fans are going to start pouring in on that app that I'm on.
Yeah, there's at least a few hundred people still on it. As Tanner Roundy steps into the box, he'll go right of second base, but it'll float and hang up there in the air. Plenty of time for Levi Lawrence to shuffle laterally and bring it in for out number 2.
Halfway there, level 3 hype train. Minute and a half left. Let's see if Twitch Nation can make it happen.
Nate Stepna's going to roll over third base. Alonso Valencia will make the throw.
Dodo's right there to make sure it gets that backstop. And we talked earlier in the broadcast that are they going to be able to make those throws every time? And so far, they have. And that could be the difference maker as he gets out of that inning unscathed as Jason Walker, now a Vader. This is, I believe, his 4th team in the last, 4 months or so.
Jason Walker is trying to go for my record of 5 teams in the PLW played, as he was traded very recently from this Night Owl squads over to the Vaderz, and he'll take the hill here in the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, I think he finally found a home right here in Vader's world. Go.
I don't want to interrupt you, Trent, but I have to. We only have 30 seconds left to complete level 3 of this hype train. We are 75% of the way there. I think one more gift sub will do the trick. We're at 89% with 20 seconds left to get into level 4.
Not the blue wire.
You can do it. And there's Jay Wilson up from the Skycam deck, gifting a sub for PLW, trying to get us to level 4 of that hype train. We got 10 seconds left. One more gift sub will do it. Jason Walker will throw his patented slider into the pan. And we did it. We made it to level 4.
Oh, man, a sigh of relief. But you just can't let off the gas right now. PLW Nation, 2 more levels to go as Alonso Valencia is going to take a nasty slurve from Walker. And I actually like Alonso coming in against Walker right here because Walker's style of pitching actually gives Zoe an advantage as he's a pull hitter. And if Walker floats one in there, he's going to go do that.
Ooh, exactly that, and that is the reason they have Zoe in. He is pinch hitting for Dakota Pickuvit here. He likes him high. He likes him inside. And he's going to swing and miss at that one. Still like the managerial move there from Logan Christie getting Zoe in there.
Yeah, he had his opportunity on that one single pitch, couldn't get it, and, strikes out there. But that was an opportunity to plant one over the container as Randy Dalby up to bat right now, 1 out, top of the 6th.
Dalby's going to wait on that pitch, but he fouls it off. 0-2.
Hot Rod might have got the MVP comment of the night.
Popped straight up. Battistoni and Stepna giving chase, but can't catch up to it. 27% of the way through level 4 of the hype train. It does get harder and harder as we get further into that hype train, and all of a sudden we're up to 55. As it looks like D.W. Bledsoe just gifted 2 Tier 1 subs. It's going to get us up to 53%.
That's what it's all about. It's all about the community. Sharing is caring, giving.
It's left field, high, but not high enough. Kyle Etter in front of it, in front of the container for out number 2. D.W. Bledsoe gifting those because he knows that you gift out a sub and that person might stay forever, and then they're just going to pay it forward to another new viewer.
Could you imagine if every subscriber paid it forward? Man.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
That'd be Jua.
Into the backstop. As we have completed level 4.
Who did that?
Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it?
We're going to do it. I'm telling you. We got the Trench and GK Rabbit show up here. We got a good game brewing, a 3-1 lead by the Owls. James Stein up right now. This is going to be good stuff. Oh,
swing and a miss.
Gets him a little bit on that high and outside. It's going to fill up the count 3-2.
Stein has seen a lot of Walker over the years. And he's going to wait on that. He's going to shoot it to the 5-6 hole, but Kyle Etter makes the grab. One-handed, just an inch above the turf. Look at this instant replay.
Not only does it, Ethan Ibarra almost got that one, but it just hung out about 6 inches off the turf, and Kyle Etter snags that. What a beautiful play. Man, I'm surprised he got that, especially with Ethan Ibarra flashing by right there. Watch that. Bang, bang.
It's not often I write robbed next to a play in my box score, but how could you not? You can hang a star on that one. Kyle.
Man.
Etter making the play.
Listen, really making up for that defensive error out there in left field earlier in the game. What a beautiful, beautiful play by Kyle Etter, and that's got to move him up even more in the ranks of Rookie of the Year status. That won't show up in the box score only as an out, as we did complete level 4 of the hype train. But if you just saw that, especially on Twitch, since we could get the zoom in and the instant replays, which you can't get on TikTok, you got to talk about that in Rookie of the Year and defense and all that stuff.
Without a doubt. Level 5 is complete. The hype train is
Good
complete.
Job, everyone. PLW Nation. We're going to get some emojis.
Everybody who contributed bits or subs into this hype train will get your hype train emote. Whoever contributed the most is going to get that hype train emote next to their name.
As James Stein, 0-2 count to Billy, and he just very subtly is pitching an absolute gem other than that home run by Kyle Etter.
Not a lot of strikeouts, but he's gotten a lot of guys to roll over, as we've seen Alonso Valencia make a handful of plays in this game on both first and third base side. Billy Santiwan will get caught looking. And Trench, we thought that it might come down to this, just a couple of runs in this game as Stein is pitching lights out.
You know how Billy has that knuckleball that people kind of can't read? For some reason, Stein has like a 53 to 55 mile an hour ball that comes in that doesn't look like it's reading like that.
Yep.
And it really freezes him, but a good shot by Ibarra as Randy almost couldn't get down there to get that.
Dalby is so tall that sometimes it's not easy for him to just bend over and stop it from hitting the wall.
And listen, he is not going to hit the deck. I'll tell you that. That is a long way down for that dude.
Ethan Ibarra does get something going here for the Vaderz in the bottom of the 6th, as Gio Battistoni will put one up into the broadcast booth, fall behind 0-2.
They're just a double play away from making this happen. He would love a slusher to Sean hit right here.
It'll go Zoe to second. Merciel.
Game
Into
over.
the backstop. A game-ending double play for the Night Owls. They hang on to win it by a score of 3-1. James Stein was excellent.
Yeah, an absolute gem. He pitched right there, and I kind of called it. You know, he threw a dime piece to Gio. For him, it was a rollover, though, and it went from slush to Sean Merciel. Double play ball right in time, under 5 seconds for game number 2, and it's going to go into a rubber match. And we kind of talked about this, and I was alluding to this prior to the broadcast. After Billy Santi won, there's a little bit of a steep, not a little bit, there's a steep drop-off in pitching. And right now you still have 3 innings Stein, 3 innings with Dalby, and who else is out there on
Levi Lawrence.
And Levi Lawrence hasn't even pitched at all in this game, and we're probably going to see him in game number 3. We'll get those pitchers. We'll see who's going to pitch in game number 3, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Hideaway Field in Las Vegas. We just saw the completion of game number 2 between the Night Owls and the Vaderz, and this series is living up to its billing. James Stein pitched a gem. A 3-1 victory by the Night Owls has split this series in half. The rubber match is straight ahead. It looks like we're probably going to see Jason Walker and Levi Lawrence on the hill for these two teams.
Yeah, this is going to be a great matchup for these two teams. Other than a bad first inning for the Vaderz there, they only gave up 3 runs the whole game.
Yeah.
And I think those came in the first inning. So the rest of the way, the Vaderz actually did pretty good. Their bats just couldn't come alive, as you know, against James Stein, the league leader in ERA. And he I don't think he felt threatened that whole game until Ethan Ibarra's hit in the bottom of the 6th.
Yep. James Stein doing what he does, there's a reason why he has the best ERA in PLW. If you're talking about Cy Young candidates here, James Stein, obviously, he's won the award before. He doesn't have as many games played as Billy Santi won, so I don't know exactly how the voting works or how the consideration goes into how you're going to gauge for that when giving this award out. But Santi has been so consistent, the 11 wins, the 0 losses, that's really got to play into that decision.
Yeah, and I wanted to say, like, oh, maybe Santi has the power bats behind him. But even when they score 1 or 2, he's winning. So Stein, even though he has the lowest ERA, sometimes he doesn't get the help that he needs if he does give up 2 or 3 runs, which is very rare. But Billy, if he does give up 1 or 2, knows that his team's going to score 3 or 4 and win that game, and that's happened probably a few times this year. So there are some losses on the Night Owls side that if they just had a little bit more scoring, they'd win those games. And as you know, they are last in the league in runs batted in, or runs coming over.
Yep, and a lot of the power from the Night Owls does come from their 2 best pitchers who live out of state, Randy Dalby and James Stein. They made a weekend out of it, Trench. The Night Owls, of course, played at the end of last week. So Stein and Dalby here in Las Vegas all weekend long, making a little mini vacation out of it as they play here on a Tuesday night.
And what is that emoji? Is that a pig eating a pizza? Or
It's a hippo.
A what?
I believe it's a hippo eating, or it's a horse eating a pizza. It's either a hippo, a donkey, or a horse. As Randy Dalby is going to shoot one, Nate Stepna parries it back into the infield. Ethan Ibarra will pick up the garbage and retire Dalby for out number 1.
I don't know if I'm having deja vu, but I feel like that exact play happened in the top of the 1st to Stepna last game.
It did.
If that is true, that's good news for the Night Owls as they won game number 2.
Seeing more and more people adopt this strategy on the hot corner to just get your hand in front of it and bat that ball back into the infield. The ball comes so fast to the third base position. Just batting it down gives plenty of time for any other infielder to get to that ball and throw it away. And we've heard even some derision about using that technique over at third base. But I think what a lot of people aren't thinking is that, yes, in baseball, a third baseman has time to field it cleanly, but this is not baseball. A third baseman in baseball would be playing behind our container trench, behind it.
That's incredible.
But the exit velocities here in PLW are very close to that of Major League Baseball, so that means the ball is coming off the bat almost just as fast. So the reaction time for somebody to make a play at third base is literally half of what you have in baseball. Of course they're going to put their hands in front of it. They don't have time to pick it clean every time. If they try to do that, it's going to get past them.
Yeah, and me and you both stellar third baseman, Hollis out there as well. It comes fast, and sometimes you can't even react to it. There was a ball that came off of Trevor Bauer's bat when we were playing the Bombers that it was just insta past me. It was so fast.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do.
As Walker walked Stein early.
Comebacker. He's going to turn around, go to two. Stepna's going to get the force out. But the double play attempt will fail, as that throw was not only late, but it missed the center panel. Jason Walker, a little bit of a lack of awareness there, knowing that he needed to go back to second base. Kind of slowed that play down. So Levi Lawrence will reach first base on a fielder's choice. James Stein is retired at second. Sean Merciel will go right at Ethan Ibarra. He'll make the easy flip to Gio Battistoni at second base. And it's a four-batter inning.
132 viewers, GK. That's a good amount coming in for game number 3, as they know this is a rubber match. And TikTok, if you're watching, you definitely want to come over for this game number 3 to see the conclusion of this series. And, of course, we have Tuesday through Saturday this week, as we have bonus Wiffle on Saturday night, the Bombers versus the Ones in a mega matchup. Remember, Alex Fernandez wasn't able to play his last series. He's chomping at the bit to get back out there and face the Ones.
Oh, yeah, rough night for the Bombers. Alex Fernandez not in attendance. Hollis Hale not in attendance. Justin Grenier was not in attendance for the Bombers, certainly contributed to their demise last night. They're going to have a chip on their shoulders coming in to that makeup game with the Ones this Saturday. It's going to be no easy task. The Ones have looked absolutely unbeatable this year.
Yeah, I mean, they basically have been unbeatable, and they even lost a series to the Lightning out of the blue. The Lightning played their tails off in that series win. Other than that, really no hiccups. They won a series against the Legends in a really good matchup. They beat the Vaderz in a really good matchup. So they have taken care of some of the teams that have tried to, put it on them. But, in each of those series, when they're playing some of the top teams, it could have went either way. Sure. Honestly, just a play here, a home run here, and the outcomes could be different in those series. So we're going to see some excellent wiffle ball going down the stretch. And, of course, come playoff time when the teams get together and match up, you're going to see some phenomenal wiffle ball.
Levi Lawrence getting the start here for the Night Owls in game number 3. He comes into this series with a 4.58 ERA and a 1-3 win-loss record.
Let me ask you a question, GK. Do you think Dobbins has like some kind of feature on his phone that when we say the Ones, it buzzes and then he comes in on the chat? And anytime we talk about the Ones, he immediately steps in and kind of praises his team.
Dobbins loves PLW. He watches every night. Sean Merciel is going to smother that one, but he lost his footing, and he makes the play after falling down. He fell down and crushed that ball trench. That ball was tacoed as he threw it.
He almost shaved off Levi's mullet right there.
That ball was folded in half as Merciel threw it.
Man, he's got a cannon. Sheesh. Could have easily airmailed, as you know, when you make quick movements like that. You can't get the holes lined up. You might not know where you're throwing it, as Levi goes pendulum kick right here.
Looked like a grandfather clock on that delivery. Tick-tock, 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 ball. Kyle Etter has moved up into the 2-hole here, supplanting Gio Battistoni. I'm sure we'll probably see Gio hitting next. Slider comes in there, and Kyle Etter will put it into right field. He's got a base hit with 1 out.
Yeah, he was really trying to poke it over to that right side. Finally made contact and did just that as Gio up to bat right now. Kind of a slow night for Gio.
Yeah, they moved Gio. They swapped Kyle and Gio. If we look back into games number 1 and 2.
Does he have a hit on the night? I feel like we
He does not.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't talked about him.
Gio 0 for 7 on the night coming into game number 3. Don't expect that to continue.
Yeah, do factor, always a thing here at Hideaway Field. Oh,
Tink, tink, 52 miles per hour from Levi Lawrence.
just nasty, nasty stuff.
Levi will do quite a bit on the bump to try to upset the timing of batters. You'll see him with an entire array of leg kicks, pauses, weight shifts. Very rarely does he just wind up and throw it. Shot into right field, 2-run homer by Gio Battistoni, gets off the schneid and puts the Vaderz up 2-0.
I want you guys to see where Gio gets this ball. It is so low and inside. That is his wheelhouse. He comes with a pitching wedge right there. He digs in, pulls it out of the turf, basically, and launches it. And we talked about that do factor, and immediately he shows up.
There it is. See on that instant replay, golfed it.
Yeah, you cannot place it there. That is exactly where he likes it.
I had an idea, Trench.
What is it?
Red light, green light.
I love that.
As we talked about a little bit in game number 2, we've
Yeah.
been asking batters to take a little bit of time before they step into the box, allow us to finish an instant replay. What if we just had a red light, green light?
I like it. Kind of like when you're going on the on-ramp of a freeway.
Yeah, exactly.
Get that
the
little
traffic
fire.
control.
You get that 5 to 7 seconds that you need to, we got something that we got to talk about something for a couple seconds.
Yeah. Tanner Roundy's going to strike out there for the first out of the inning. Excuse me, that should be the second out of the inning.
Yeah,
Pretty
it is.
sure Ibarra grounded out. Alicott sliding back into the 5-hole here in game number 3. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Swing and a miss. There was a tip from Alicott there. Either way, it's 0-2. Levi's going to jump off the
did
left
he
side
roll
of the
his
pitching
ankle
grove.
right there?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. I think he rolled his ankle. Watch the instant replay. And he does a little bit.
Ouch.
And it looks like he might have rolled over his fuchsia right there.
He's going to step back in. I believe his uniform is fuchsia. His ankle ligaments are fascia. As Lawrence will step off the other side of the pitching rubber and miss outside. 1-2. Slider misses high.
A lot of noise coming from the Vaderz dugout.
Alicott will swing and miss at a pitch down into the turf for the third and final out of the inning, but not before a 2-run shot by Gio Battistoni has put the Vaderz ahead.
I feel like every time Gio hits a home run, it's the same swing, the same area of pitch, and it's always just he's digging it out.
Yep.
And normally, as a pitcher, you're thinking he's not going to swing at that. He's going to swing and miss, but
Just
instead,
so good at bending at the waist, getting his torso over. Swing pass stays the same. Just tilts his whole body over.
has that low center
Launches
of
it.
gravity
Yep.
as well.
Jason Walker will return to the hill for the Vaderz. Feels a little bit odd saying that as the Night Owls are playing tonight. And used to seeing him in that third game starter and reliever role, but now he's moved over to the Vaderz.
If Jason Walker could go 3 innings right here, you're probably going to see the insertion of Billy Santiwan
Not a doubt.
to get the Night Owls off kiltered and possibly not score a run.
Alonso Valencia will stay in the 6th hole. Excuse me, I believe Zoe is batting 4th here. 5th. He's leading off the top of the 2nd.
Okay. Let's go. Ball outside.
There's that slider that Zoe was looking for.
Yeah, and that one broke a little early. Sometimes Walker breaks way deep, and there's like all you could do is defend.
Inside, good take by Alonso. 2-2. He's going to shoot this one deep, left field, up, over the hands of Kyle Eder. A solo shot by Alonso Valencia has cut the lead in half.
Yeah, we've been talking about that. It is a chess match out here in PLW, and Alonso Valencia against Jason Walker is a good matchup for that, as he is all pull, and when he lays that hanging slurve, Zoe sometimes can really lay into it. Bang, that was actually just a decent fastball straight up the middle, still pulls it right over the outstretched arm of Kyle Eder. 2-1. Vaderz right now.
Dakota Pickett will notch another game for the Night Owls here as he starts in the 6th hole here in game number 3. Ooh, Dakota hasn't seen that Walker pitch, at least not from the batter's box.
Gets him.
Targeted at that time, but got a little bit in front and underneath and strikes out for out number 1.
Brad Ogden saying, well, don't sleep on Zoe. He's probably the all-time home run leader when we have that taco league going on.
Oh, yeah. Of course, the quality of the pitching in Taco League far inferior to what you see here in PLW, but don't take anything away from Zoe. He does a good job adjusting to whatever the pitchers are throwing. You'll see him move up and back in the box quite a bit, depending on what kind of pitches he's going to see. As we're going to see Tanner Roundy come out here in relief of Jason Walker.
I'm questioning this move. As you know, Tanner Roundy wasn't able to get past 2 innings as he walked out. As you can see, a bar stretching out there on the container. If Tanner, happened to walk a couple people right here, it's going to open up the floodgates for the Night Owls, as they're going to have to probably go to Stepna or, probably have to go to Stepna if he couldn't get through these batters.
I'm sorry, Trench, I'm a little bit distracted, and I'm sure everything that you just said there was very succinct.
It wasn't great.
However, I was a little bit distracted. I'm going to have a talk with the Vaderz.
About what?
About snubbing Kirby Bucket.
Ooh, yeah, I know you take that
They have
very
consistently walked out to the mound with wiffle balls in hand. Kirby has a job to do. Kirby has one job to do.
Yeah.
And that's to take out wiffle balls out to relief pitchers. And when he gets snubbed like that, his feelings get hurt.
I would love to get you mic'd up talking to Sasai over there on the Vaderz sideline, as I know you take pride in some of the Kirby Bucket stuff that you do.
Some.
All. Maybe that's a conversation you need to have shortly, as a lot of our fans at home, though they love Wiffle, I think the main reason they're here is for Kirby Bucket.
There's quite a few Kirby fans in the chat. And on nights when Kirby has the night off, I can guarantee you that viewer count is going to drop. And I'll tell you what, when Kirby gets his feelings hurt, he might take a night off on his own. And we don't want that for PLW. It's not good for anybody.
I don't know if we missed it, but did Tanner walk Randy right there? Yep. Yeah, he did. So early walk by Tanner. And then he's down 2-1, and I was questioning this move.
I'm back into the game, Trench. I'm back.
Yeah, you're in. 2-1 to James.
James going to shoot it past the outstretched hands of Gio Battistoni. That'll be the right side of second base. That'll advance Dalby over to third.
hear Gio not happy that he couldn't get that ball.
He had no chance.
Well, there's Sparkles and his little tortoise friend. And here's Levi Lawrence, quiet on the night.
Outside part of the plate, 54 miles per hour, as we get a look at our lead umpire, Chad Phillips, pulling a little double duty there.
Yeah.
Entering the scoring into the iPad as well as operating the clock that you see there on the stream, counting those 5 seconds for ground out plays. Chad.
I can't imagine how full his brain must be working those two items.
It's not too full. As Levi Lawrence looks at one, hit the pan, 55 miles per hour for the second out of the inning.
Yeah.
Get caught looking.
Froze him right there. Watch the movement of this pitch from left to right. Oof. Good pitch. And you can't see it as much because our center field cam isn't spot on behind the pitcher. But, man, there was a lot of movement as Sean takes a pitch.
Roundy's going to hit the top outside pipe with that screwball. Jump ahead 0-2 on Sean Merciel. He's going to go back to the screwball. Merciel's going to shoot it right back. Good piece of hitting from Sean Merciel to recognize that screwball and shoot it back up the middle, but Tanner Roundy got in front of it for the third out of the inning. There's a little bit of question, something about whether I don't even know what the question was.
I think it was just frustration right there. When you hit a hot shot back to the pitcher like that, you're just like, man, could it not have gone 2 inches either way around his hand to go up the gap and score a run?
Just find a hole somewhere. And he definitely hit that one right on the screws, but unfortunately, Tanner Roundy is a large individual, a lot of real estate.
And Randy's going to take the mound. And again, GK, is this a Kirby snuff? Is this something?
No,
not on a.
It's mid-inning pitching changes. If you're making a pitching change in between innings, then Kirby's going to charge and rest his batteries for that. But when somebody comes out of the bullpen in the middle of an inning, that is Kirby's domain. That's his territory.
For Kirby, for you, for PLW Nation, because when Kirby gets snubbed, 570 viewers get snubbed on Twitch, and it's not the scene that I want to see here.
There are viewers at home who they sit up out of their couch once they know that one walk has been recorded against a batter because they know that a possible Kirby sighting is incoming. And to be denied that, we're just going to have to have a little chat. Maybe put it in that announcement thread, the one that you're not allowed to reply to.
I won't go into details of who it was or get it too, personal with it, but someone privately messaged me last week, and him and his girl, they kind of split up because he was watching a PLW game, and his fiance after work got out of the shower, and she kind of would try to lead him on a little bit, and he was like, no, babe, Kirby's coming out, and that did it for her, and I think they're going to counseling, and fortunately for him, I think he made the right move by going with Kirby instead.
Nate Stebna has drawn back into this game, this time batting in the 6th hole. He faces against Randy Dalby. 1-2. Dalby will go sidearm, miss away, and even the count. Up and down will fill the count.
Hey, listen, I'm not the one messaging.
Shot left field, a line drive off the top of the container. A leadoff triple for Nate Stepna. Wow. Every single bit of that ball. Just the launch angle is the only thing that kept that ball inside the field. It was roped on a line.
And you could see PLW Nation just rallying around Kirby, saying, that might just not be the woman for you.
And watch out for a fly ball from Ibarra. Nate Stepna's got wheels. I don't know if any throw from the outfield is going to beat Stepna home on this tag play, should it occur.
He was definitely
12-6.
trying to make that 4-1 Vaderz, but he's going to go down 1-2. I don't know if the outfielders, Levi Orstein, have the cannon to get it in there. The only couple people I could think of is
He went.
like somebody like an AK possibly that just has an absolute missile of an arm out there.
Yeah, there's a few guys in the league. Recently departed Night Owl A.J. Petrovsky had a cannon out there in left field. He was one of the guys who could maybe get it done, but Stepna's fast. I'm not sure if anybody can beat him if he gets a good jump on a sac fly. Sidearm Randy misses outside, 1-1.
And honestly, I think this is the time that you'd have to talk to your team on the tag-up situation because
Comebacker past Dalby into center field. That will score Stepna from third. Vaderz increase their lead 3-1.
that'll ice that conversation as Stepna comes in from third. Both Dalby and Merciel barely missing that one as the Vaderz pop on top 3-1.
And Sean Merciel has to wonder how come that can't happen when I shoot one right back at a gigantic pitcher. Gio Battistoni will step in with a runner on first and nobody out. Falls behind 0-2. Watch a 63-mile-per-hour pitch hit the zone for a ball. Another comebacker past Randy. That goes to the left side of second base. Eder will go over to the second. Gio will go to first. Still, just one out for Tanner Roundy. 2 run, strikeout looking from Tanner Roundy's last at bat. Pitch is a 12-6 inside on the hands of Roundy for ball 2. Another 12-6. Tanner Roundy trying to go opposite way. Garden of Serenity with that, but he fouls it off. We nearly had a mid-at-bat collision.
2-2 count here in the bottom of the second. 2 runners on, only 1 out. Randy would love to get out of this inning right now, but he fills up the count 3-2.
Healthy dose of 12 sixes from Randy Dalby to Tanner Roundy. I guarantee you he's been watching PLW on the stream. He watched Adam Tannick victimize Tanner Roundy over and over with that pitch in their series with the Sand Vipers, but unfortunately, he's unable to locate it here, and he'll walk Roundy to load the bases.
Yeah, and they really have to have a conversation about the play if it is a, depending on where you want to go for the double play. If you go 2 and then miss it, somebody scores.
Alec Hutt showing some patience here with the bases loaded. Kyle Eder in a track starting stance at third base. Alec Hutt will swing underneath that one to even the count.
Looks like he's checking the quarterback or the referee on the sideline to make sure he's not offsides.
The runners will be going on contact. Bases loaded, 1 out. Alec Hutt is going to swing underneath at 12-6. For the second out, tag-up play no longer in order as Nate Stepna digs in.
Yeah, he got under both of those balls, but Nate, very, very good. Goes
He's
right
going to go right side. That's a fair ball. That will drop. Will it hit the wall? It is a single, but it's a 2 RBI single by Nate Stepna. He'll increase the Vaderz lead 5-1.
Yeah, good piece of hitting right there. Dodos ran out to make sure that it didn't touch the wall, but it does score 2 more, and the Vaderz are starting to blow this a little bit open, up 5-1. Still runners on the corners with the dangerous Ethan Ibarra up to bat right now.
Sidearm outside. Ball 1 to Ibarra. Ibarra struck out earlier this inning. Low. 2-1. There's Joe Kuther over there.
And that's going to load the bases.
And Randy Dalby will vacate the mound, and Kirby Bucket is going to get on out there before the Vaderz can possibly think about snubbing him. I like that move by Justin Spurrier operating Kirby tonight.
Yeah, who do you go to right here? I mean, if you go Stein, then he's not going to be able to go the distance. So he could only go second, third, fourth inning, and so you still got the fifth to go.
A discussion between former manager Nick Davella, current manager Logan Christie, and his squad on the field.
Yeah, so this is going to be a charged inning to Stein, but I think you have to go here. Obviously, Kyle Etter, a very accomplished hitter. Stein, one of the best in the league. Obviously, the bases are loaded. It makes it a little bit more difficult, but you have to give yourself a chance right here. You cannot give up any more runs, even though it might cost you an inning from James Stein.
Yep, Night Owls need to win games. That is the most important thing for them as they find themselves currently sitting in 8th place in the league. The difference between surviving in the PLW or not is always at stake for those teams in the bottom of the table. A lot of people think it's even more of a thrilling view to watch those teams that are literally fighting for their PLW lives than those who are trying to push their way into the playoffs. Of course, this team was in relegation. They were only a few outs from getting relegated from this league, and a miraculous home, I believe it was a 2 or 3 run shot by A.J. Petrovsky, no longer a Night Owl, through the wind in that relegation tourney, kept the Night Owls alive, got them back into PLW.
He was 0 for 11, I believe, in that series. He didn't do anything, and then he just pops one over the fence to keep them in the league. A beautiful, beautiful piece of hitting to keep his Night Owls back in PLW.
Of course, Petrovsky has now moved on, now a member of the Sand Vipers, part of the mass culling that we saw throughout this Night Owls lineup. Kyle Etter will swing and miss underneath that one. Motions over to the dugout to kind of keep the chatter down.
Yeah, maybe golf's a better game for him.
Finger change from James Stein.
Wow, I can't believe he got a piece of that.
Etter does a good enough job waiting on that one to foul it off. Really good fight from Etter here. Swing and a miss and an outside pitch. James Stein pumps his fist as the Vaderz leave the bases loaded, but not before a 2 RBI single from Nate Stepna has extended the Vaderz lead 5-1.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the play would have been to go to Stein first before Randy after Stein pitched such a great game too, just to keep them closer in scoring. No discredit to Randy, but obviously James, the more accomplished pitcher in PLW. I wonder if that would have been the play.
Could have been. Probably not an easy decision over there in the dugout. Of course, you kind of want to preserve James Stein's innings should you be able to keep it a close contest. But obviously, Plan B was enacted there as they started to get, as Dalby started to get hit a little bit.
Yeah, and this is the magic inning that the Vaderz need to get past, because if they get past this inning without getting beat up too bad, Billy Santijuan's going to come in and ice this game for the Vaderz.
3 innings to pitch, as is so often the case in these 3-game series, as Billy obviously registered yet another complete game win for his team, now 12-0 on the season with 5 saves, putting up unbelievable video game numbers this year. Ooh, Tink.
Man, there is nothing you could do with that pitch. 47 outside, whispers the outside bar for strike number 2. Count's going to go to
Yikes.
1 and 2.
So good. Screwball's going to miss high and away. Zoe really likes to stand way up in the box. That's Screwball. Oh, he's going to go with the slider. Zoe will swing through that and strike out for the first out of the inning.
Listen, if Alonso Valencia is going to be so far the only run scored by the Night Owls, you're in for a tough game number 3.
Yep. 49 and in there. Kind of freezes Dakota. Screwball. Low to Pickivit. Slider high and away. Dakota Pickivit showing some good patience here early in his PLW career.
Yeah, remember there's one out here in the top
Maybe
of the
a
third.
little bit too patient as Roundy's going to put a 48-mile-per-hour slider right into the pan and freeze Dakota.
Well, it looks like PLW fan. I can't read the arrows there. Where did it go?
Tanner Roundy has struck out the leadoff batter.
I think it was PLW fan's birthday. And I want to wish PLW fan a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, PLW fan 01.
Love that. To hang out on the day of your birth. There's so many things that you could possibly
There's something going on here.
But you're hanging out with PLW Nation on a Tuesday night with Trench and Greg in the commentating booth. What a special occasion that is, Greg.
I love it. Glad to be a part of that happy birthday. As Logan Christie is going to get added to the lineup here. He's going to hit in the 7 hole for the Owls. What do you think about this move, Trench? Adding another batter to the lineup.
At this point, Greg, you need to change something up. Because has anything been working for the Night Owls yet? Not yet. So
Sure, but
Sherbert.
the decision to add a batter to the lineup is usually one that is done with a lead and not
100%.
chasing 4 runs. So a little bit of an eyebrow lift at that decision, as obviously you want your very best hitters to have more chances at the plate. Adding another batter into the lineup is going to decrease that likelihood.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, but when you say very best, I mean, if we look over that box score,
Yeah.
nothing's really eye-popping, and Logan's the kind of guy that might just pop one over the container to
Sure.
spark something.
yeah, absolutely. No disrespect to Logan Christie whatsoever. He's going to be a formidable person to be in that box at the bottom of the order. And then if he can get on base, you've got the top of the order in Dalby, Stein, and Lawrence coming up after him. But so far, it has just been Dalby and Stein, and Levi Lawrence getting on base quite a bit. I believe he's drawn 4, maybe 5 walks so far in this 3-game series.
I mean, if you look at other than the 3 runs in the first inning of game number 2, how many runs have they scored aside from that inning? What did they score in game 1?
How many runs did the Night Owls score?
Yeah,
Total?
yeah.
1 run. It was 2-1 Vaderz.
2-1 Vaderz.
Yeah.
So 1 run in 6 innings there.
Yep.
And then so far 1 run in 3 innings here, so that's 9 innings.
Yeah, they scored 3 runs in a Game 2 win, so
Right,
four
and
runs
so
total.
5 runs there. So like 11 innings of just 2 runs other than that 3-run inning.
Yeah. I mean, part of
I
that
think.
part of that is going to be
That's
a
gonna
whole
go
new
deep.
lineup here for the Night Owls, aside from those core pieces that remained.
Look at this. What commentating duo you most looking forward to the rest of this week? Is it Dodo's J-Lo, Loman Gannon? Is that Sparkles and Patricus? I mean, oh, man. And then Trenton.
Trickus. Pep him up more.
Right now, it's a dead heat between Dodos and J-Lo, and Tom Gannon bringing up second place there. Sparkles, get back to your clock. You're not going to win this poll.
Yeah, anytime you have like a Gannon, stellar player, a Loman, great player, of course, Dodo's, J-Lo, of course, having her fan club come out, I think they're going to take that poll. What a great matchup. Dodo's and J-Lo? Are you kidding me? Those are mega names.
As Tanner Roundy will strike out there for the second out of the inning, Alec Hutt will come back up. He struck out twice in this game so far. Oh, looks like a lot of points being spent on the Sparkles-Matt Patricus combo. I wouldn't be surprised if Chad emptied the clip on his own cell phone.
He doesn't know how to do that.
Down into the turf for a ball to Hutt.
Sparkles is actually hurting Patricus's numbers right there. You could basically put any name next to Matt right there, and there'd be more votes.
And James Stein has been fantastic since coming on in relief of Randy Dalby. And he'll deliver yet another strikeout there to Alec Hutt. He's got 3 in this game.
It could just say random person / Matt Patricus, and they'd have more votes. And Dodos and J-Lo, over 100 tallied right there to take the best commentating duo that they're looking forward to. And it should be a fun one, as, you know, the Lightning always put on a good show, and they're playing the Legends tomorrow night. We'll have to see what the starting lineups are going to be for both those squads, as I don't know if the Legends are going to have a full squad or not.
Tom, down below, when you get a chance, please resume the auto scroll on that right-hand chat. I know Trench loves to interact with our PLW community. I wish I could do more of that, Trench. And one of these nights, I got to get in that chair.
Go, man.
I'm usually so keyed in on the game and calling the action that I don't get a chance to interact with the community as much as I like to.
I have no ownership of this real estate here. I just kind of have always been over here.
You do. You have ownership on it. I'm pretty sure you carved your name into the wood right there in that seat.
Even when me and Dodos are up here, like if we ever had to switch areas, man, Stepna's good.
He's been very good at third base so far in this series. We're going to allow that extra step as he was bobbling the ball a little bit. He knocks it down, picks it up. 1 bobble, 1 step, 1 throw.
You get 1 step per bobble.
As Randy Dalby is retired for the first out. And it is, of course, Billy Santiwan.
Good catch, man.
In here in the top of the 4th, as expected.
When we get this J-Lo game tomorrow night with Dodos, and like I said, this is just an elite matchup in the commentating booth. We might have 700-800 viewers tuning in for that one.
Yeah. Of course, PLW Nation growing by the day. Recently eclipsed that 20,000 follower mark. I think we're already up to almost 22,000. As James Stein is going to do what he does, he's just going to rip that one up into center field. Tanner Roundy doesn't start a dive, and as such, he's not going to be able to bat that down before it hits the pocket radar sign.
It seems like the percentage of dives when you're over 6 feet tall is a lot lower than when you're shorter than 6 foot.
Goes down quite a bit. James Stein with a 1-out double gets his Night Owls into scoring position with Levi Lawrence up to bat. Grounded into a fielder's choice and struck out. He's going to swing at that first knuckleball and fall behind 0-2. We were talking about doing some. I said very early on in the broadcast that we're going to talk about some of the odd rules that we might institute in some between season.
Yeah, brush up
games.
On that a little bit.
Well, one of the ideas was that if any pitcher gets 3 strikeouts in a row, he is then on fire, and while he's on fire, he can throw any speed he wants.
Oh, I like that. See, I like that. Earn that
Until. As Levi Lawrence is going to swing and miss there. Oh, no, and there goes the bat.
He just made 2 bats. It looks like he made nunchucks. I don't know if he's part of some kind of jiu-jitsu class or whatnot, but that's a done deal.
That bat is done, as Sean Merciel will step in with 1 out and a runner on second. So we're saying 3 strikeouts, you're on fire, you can throw any speed you want, and we have to decide when that ends. Does it end after you walk or get hit? I would think so. As Santiwan is going to strike out Merciel.
Like if Billy struck out the side, he's not changing anything he's doing. Like if you struck out the side with your regular pitches, why would you change up what you just did?
Billy Santiwan is not like a good example of a pitcher who would use this. Think about the guys who play fast plastic, guys like Randy Dalby, guys like Tom Gannon going to be up there. They can throw it 90 miles an hour into that pan, and they can do it over. Think your Chens, think your AKs, guys that really have that rubber arm. And we haven't decided what's going to turn off the on fire. Is it going to be Is it going to be if you miss the pan, or is it going to be if you walk or somebody gets a hit off you? We might have to experiment with that a little bit. But one of the other things I was thinking,
I mean,
is
I like where you're going.
maybe the knuckleball is not allowed.
No more knuckleballs?
No knuckleball.
No. You better just you just gotta master the knuckle. Listen, it's
a lot of people
pitch.
who would love it if that was a rule.
It's a pitch in wiffle ball. It's a pitch in
It is.
in baseball, and you gotta learn how to hit it.
It is very, very difficult to hit the knuckleball when it's thrown correctly.
Well,
Billy
I think
Santillan
the ones lit up Billy, I believe, when they played.
They did.
So
atmospheric conditions are certainly going to play a role in how much that ball moves. We've talked a little bit about it getting warmer and Santillan not being as effective, but that has barely been the case. If you look at the underlying numbers, yes, he's been hit up a little more than he was in the winter, but then you look at games like tonight, his last couple of series, he's been every bit as scary as the weather warms up. So we'll see if that persists once we get into those 100, 110-degree nights.
I know it feels like it's not going to happen, but right now it'd be 105 out, and we'd be sweating bullets. These players would be dripping sweat.
Meanwhile, as I've been babbling on and on, we did have a pitching change for the Night Owls. Jake Slusher has come on here in the bottom of the fourth. His first batter faced resulted in a walk to Stepna. Excuse me, a strikeout.
What if you're on fire, you struck out the side, right, or 3 in a row.
Uh-huh.
Maybe one of them is if you hit the person in the batter's box, then it ends immediately.
Yeah. That
that'd
should
be
be
one.
it. Tom was thinking maybe if you miss the pan at all, suddenly on fire is over. Otherwise, it's just too hard.
Yeah, I like that. You might be able to get a strike or two.
Yeah.
It's hard to hit that pan over and over at 80 plus. Well, not really. Some of these guys have.
Some of these guys can do it. Gannon's got get me over pitches at over 80 miles per hour that he can put in the pan repeatedly. Ethan Ibarra turns on that inside pitch low, but fouls it off.
Oh man, but could you imagine the speed differences? You could go from 90 to 47.
Sure.
Sheesh.
So Lusher is going to gas up a little bit there. He's going to get Ethan Ibarra to swing at a slider outside. And he's got 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, I like it. We've talked about it before. When you haven't seen a person, you don't know their release points, their arm angles.
Oh,
what
they've
they
seen
got.
it. He's a Vader.
Oh, that's right.
He
He's a
used to
Vader.
be a Vader. They've seen him plenty.
Yeah, but probably more so in like batting practice, not like as an opponent.
Yeah, you can see the grin on the face of Jake Slusher as he faces off against his old team. And he has struck out 2 of them thus far. Jake Slusher, one of these guys who's got a very heavy 55. It looks so much faster. Huge windup on Slusher. Reaches way back, lurches into the pitch, and can somehow ring it up under 55. Slider outside. Slusher is going to slow it down. Go high and inside. Full count to Eder. And that's going to go down into the turf.
Eder saying, "You better not pitch it to me." I was about to yoke that one.
That'll bring up Gio Battistoni. As we're going to do a little wiffle ball cleanup here in between batters.
I want to thank all 500 plus viewers hanging out here. Hideaway Field is look at GK working that hot cocoa treat. Love seeing that, man. We always have a good time when we're up here. I want to thank all of Stream Team and what they do, all volunteer based every night, Monday through Friday. We got a bunch of guys coming out here making sure that you are watching some of the best wiffle ball production you can. Look at Jay Spur. He's on the ones, working that ump side on the third base line. Then first base, we have Jim Dodos. And then who's this guy?
I think somebody wandered in from the bus stop, and we've got him over on the clock.
Yeah.
It's easy enough job. You can train somebody in about 30 seconds on how to run that.
We're thankful for that guy, I guess. But And also the guys in the dungeons, right behind that PLW sign, behind the strike zone, there is a thing we call the dungeon, a little compartment. Where right now, I believe, who's it? Tom Gannon and who?
It's Tom, and who's with him down there? Not sure.
Tom and someone.
Tom and somebody
are down there, and every angle you see, all the graphics, all the numbers that you're seeing. Who we got down there, Tom?
Poke your head out.
Looks like somebody might have redeemed a hoodie.
As we did see a Kirby bucket sighting there as Jake Slusher has walked out of this game, and Levi
It's
Lawrence.
AF Alex Fernandez.
Oh, that's right. Good old Alex.
And let me tell you, he probably doesn't have to duck when he goes into that dungeon. We know it's only about 4'5" high. I think he walked straight in.
Levi Lawrence, the lefty for the Night Owls, will come on in relief of Jake Slusher. Slusher will go back to second base. Gio Battistoni on first. Kyle Letter on second as Tanner Roundy, a switch hitter, is going to step in and bat from the left side versus a lefty.
Yeah, just over a week ago, a lot of fun. A few of the PLW guys went to go see Alex Fernandez and his movie debut, The Lost Souls, a little short movie. Did a great, great job.
We're going to do a mid-inning
One time per at bat, yep.
change here. Tanner Roundy's going to step into the other batter's box. You are allowed to do it one time per at-bat. Tanner Roundy's going back over to his preferred side. Look who's in the chat, Trench. Little Boop Boop.
Little boot boots there.
As Roundy is going to come on in and get it through the infield cleanly. And he'll score Kyle Etter from second base, extend the Vaderz lead, 6-1.
Listen, little boot boot, she's an OG, man. She's been around for a long, long time.
Kenny Santiwan is going to get an at-bat for the Vaderz here in this game. He's going to pinch hit for Alec Hutt, who has been striking out quite a bit. 3 strikeouts in this game.
And there's Hayden Merciel, the wife of Sean, on the Night Owls. And remember, she had a big hit last series.
I got a little bit of controversy here about whether or not we've got a bounce or we've got a tink. And I think we've got a tink, ladies and gentlemen.
They're going to have to go into the dungeon right now, possibly. I think it also hit the bar on a nasty.
We're just going with strike. No need to slow down the game on that. It wasn't that anyone was challenging it, Trench. They just weren't sure. Night Owls thought it was a strike. Vaderz immediately acquiesced and say, yes, it was a strike.
And Lil Boot Boot saying we came across her TikTok as that froze Kenny Santi too.
54, tink, tink, top pipe. Santi Juan gets caught looking. It's the third and final out of the inning, but not before an RBI single by Tanner Roundy has extended the Vaderz lead at 6-1.
Yeah,
we move into the top of the fifth.
Body demeanor plays a big role out here, and you can tell by the Night Owls' body demeanor that they look like they're not ready to mount a comeback at all this game.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about chemistry and gelling of a team, and how it's so difficult to gel. The entire lineup has been shaken up top to bottom. I have no doubt that this Night Owl squad is going to get it together. The only question is when.
Well, it's always a when, because if you don't have Stein or Randy, then it shakes up the chemistry of the lineup again. So to manage that team has to be difficult for the like a Logan Christie. You have a bunch of guys. Some guys come in from out of town, changes up the lineup, then they leave, or one of them stays or whatnot. So there's always a chemistry imbalance. And I definitely wouldn't want to be the manager of that team, trying to keep a congruent, solid crew going the whole season.
Yeah, it's a tough row to hoe for sure. So we have yet another pitching change here. We're going to bring in Sasai Alarcon, the owner of the Vaderz. Sasai, in 8 2/3 innings pitched this season, is sporting a 2.77 ERA.
You know what?
Not too bad.
What I'm also surprised about.
High, left field. Tanner Roundy will walk underneath that one for the first out.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Nick Davella in the lineup, as he, I believe, has one of the better batting averages on the squad. I'm surprised he hasn't put himself in there, or at least asked Logan to put him in the lineup.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a self-imposed hiatus from the batting lineup on the part of Nick Davella. We've seen him sitting out the last 2 series, I believe. Nick Davella hitting .241.
Okay. I mean, so are some of the guys, the big names in PLW are hitting 240.
Oh, without a doubt. Pitching has just gotten better and better. A lot more batters dropping below that Mendoza line. Is Barry Hutter
Barry, pinch it for Dakota right there.
was pinch hitting there for Dakota Pikuvit in the 6th hole, and he responds by getting a base hit.
Yeah, and right now you got to put 3 runners on for your your Night Owls here. You have to get these 3 runners on because Sasai has to face 3 runners or 3 batters.
3 batters.
So those 3 guys have to get on base right now.
Right.
Load the bases somehow.
Only way you get out of not having to face 3 batters is if you end an inning, if you come on mid-inning relief, or if you walk 2. But Sasai is going to strike out Logan Christie, and he's going to get a boisterous reaction out of Nate Stepna.
No, that was Gio.
Oh, was it Gio? They've got a bit of a history as well. Logan Christie, obviously a former Vader as well. A lot of former Vaders on this Night Owl squad.
Yeah, former everything, everywhere.
Zoe, Christie, Slusher, all former Vaders. Randy Dalby will step in with 2 away. Runner on first. Tries to go after a high slider from Alarcon. Fouls it off the first baseline. 12-6 outside. 46 miles per hour is going to get Dalby to wave way in front of it, too. Strikeouts from Alarcon. And he has been effective in a limited role, late inning relief for
my daughter just sent me a picture of her daughter, my granddaughter. Go up top real quick, Tom.
What a great smile.
Look at this kid.
So happy.
Can you believe I have a grandkid? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Grandpa Trench.
Unbelievable.
Barely have. Where are your grays?
They're in there, man. Look at this beard.
Yeah.
Man.
Get a few sprinkled in there.
I know you see him.
The salt and pepper is fine, though. Chicks dig it.
It's working out.
Yeah. Levi Lawrence going to return to the hill for the Night Owls. He came on in relief. Last inning, he's going to face the top of the order. Bottom of the order. Nate Stepna will lead off for the Vaders. They currently lead by a score of 6-1. This is game number 3. If you're just tuning in, the Vaders won game number 1, 2-1. Night Owls came back, won game 2, 3-1. This is the rubber match. Vaders firmly in control here in game number 3. Nate Stepna will look at the first pitch from Lawrence. Low for ball number 1.
Duckhart's asking how old I am, and I just turned 51 the other day. Isn't that amazing?
That's not true.
Oh, it's not?
No. 2-1 to Stepna.
Who did I tell the other day? I think Billy and Casey, they were talking about something. And I was like, yeah, I have a grandkid. And they're like, how old are you? I was like, oh, it's 51. They're like, no way. And like a couple people went with it. And they're like, I can't believe it. Now I'm 43.
Yeah, just a baby.
Yeah, well, I had my daughter. I just turned 22.
Right side, Slusher's going to bat it down, pick it up, and float it in. Good play, Jake Slusher. Quick reactions.
Yeah,
second base
Slushy
side.
Pants putting his paw out there, making a play. You know, if there's one thing I'm proud of, I did the whole single dad thing my whole life.
Cabrera is getting an at-bat
Look at Cuba
here.
Dave.
Cuba Dave has been added as the 7th batter. Levi Lawrence is going to throw.
Listen, if you don't know who Cuba Dave is, he's played against a lot of these guys. And don't be mistaken, he's a slap hitter. He'll go left side on you.
Yeah, he's got he's an extremely patient hitter. He usually does not swing. Usually a lot of talk out of Dave Cabrera. Not very much bat speed out of Dave Cabrera at all. He's got an extremely late swing, but he'll slap it into the opposite field. He can be difficult to defend. 37 miles per hour. That'll load the count.
Listen, Dave has a great eye. He's one of those guys that when he gets up, he's prone to take a walk.
I have no idea who he's talking to. Foul ball. I don't know who Levi was taunting right there.
Uh-oh. The other Levi might come out.
Dave Cabrera is going to roll over that one. Alonso Valencia at the first base side will pick it up and retire him for the second out of the inning. As Ethan Ibarra will come to bat.
Wow, Cuba Dave with an at-bat. I love it. Yeah, little boot. Trying my best.
Down into the turf. Ball 2. We'll miss high for ball 3. "12-6 down into the turf. Ibarra will go over to first base as Lawrence goes down to the ground on that one.
Yeah, he's got to be careful right here. The Levi-Kyle Etter matchup. If Kyle Etter goes yard right here, there might be a lot of trash talking.
1-1 to Etter. Slider in there, 55 miles per hour for strike 2. Off-speed pitch, 44 will miss high. Even the count 2-2. "12-6 inside. Will fill the count.
He's got to be careful right here. Remember, Kyle walked his last at bat. He really wanted to take a swing, but wasn't able to.
12-6 inside will walk Kyle Etter. And that's it for Levi Lawrence, his second out of the inning. As he'll throw the ball out to center field for James Stein. James Stein is not going to be the pitcher. They're going to bring in Sean Merciel. And Justin Spurrier, unfortunately, asleep at the controls of Kirby Bucket here for this pitching change. Hard to find some consistency.
Yeah, like you said, there might have to be a class. You might have to hand select people.
Yeah, if you want your KDL, your Kirby driver's license, you're going to have to go through a 2-hour course.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to have, like, parallel parking and stuff like that?
Where's the other battery? Maybe. He must have gone through 2 batteries. It's a possibility that Kirby has gone through his batteries. That is the change that we're going to make. I'll just go ahead and give it away to PLW Nation. We had a little bit of a battery issue.
Okay.
So as you know, batteries, they don't last forever, especially if they're not drained properly before they're recharged. So we've got some new batteries. They were delivered today. We didn't have time to pick them up before bringing them to the hideaway field. So
now let me ask you a question, GK. Is one battery, if you have one battery in Kirby, is that going to last the whole series?
Yeah, one good battery will last the whole series as long as you're not hot rodding him.
What do you think about, as the sun stays out longer, maybe putting a solar panel on him? Is that something that you could work in there?
It's a great idea. They make those flexible solar panels.
I mean, remember, it's going to be about 2 hours of daylight, about an hour and a half of daylight, probably.
I wonder if we could
in about
make it
a
run
month.
off a solar panel entirely.
See,
just
I knew I'd get you
wrap
jazzed
the bucket
up.
in a solar cell.
Maybe we could talk to Solar City or these other companies that want to sponsor, and we get Kirby wrapped up. He's eco-friendly. He's green. That's the way of the world right now, GK.
Kirby, solar-powered Kirby. I'd have to look into it. I'm not sure if.
Hey, listen, just trying to do my part.
I'm not sure if the Kirby budget currently allows for it, but it's always something.
Imagine a little solar panel, a little solar umbrella over that bucket.
Yeah.
Plus, during the sunlight hours, when the sun's beating down on Kirby,
the balls will soften up. So if you have that solar umbrella on top, keeps the balls a little cooler, a little hotter, or harder.
It's going to be Dave Seifert. He was once a night owl. Then he became a lightning. Then he became a night owl again. I think he became a warbird. Then he became a lightning. And then he became a night owl again.
Is that like kind of going back to your ex a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. I know that when the Night Owls released Dave, they kind of felt horrible about it. It was during the Season 4 draft, and they needed one more spot in order to pick up a prospect, and Dave was the man who was on the chopping block. They always loved what Dave brings as far as his attitude. Always shows up. And they're very happy to have Seifert back as he comes in relief of Levi Lawrence, and he does indeed get that third and final out. Stranding 2. The Vaderz will stay up 6-1.
I want to talk a little bit about Cody Giordano.
Let's talk about him.
What are his numbers on the season? And I know he could play defense. I'm surprised we haven't seen him in the game at any point this year or this series.
We're talking about Giordano?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly why Giordano has been completely riding the bench. We haven't seen him play defense. We haven't seen him hit whatsoever. But we'll go ahead and look at his numbers. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. I don't have Giordano's numbers on hand.
Warm-up throw to the backstop. Airmailed it. Or was he just going after Sparkles there?
Oh, boy. All right, Giordano's numbers coming into this series. 26 games played, 241 average, on base percentage of 340.
Okay, I mean, that's right up there with most of the good people here in PLW.
Yeah, an OPS of 639. James Stein will get things started here in the top of the 6th with a lead-off double. I think we saw this last inning.
Yeah, couldn't come around after that, though, as Levi having a quiet night other than some walks.
That'll bring up Levi Lawrence. And lay off a high pitch for ball 1. Down into the turf, ball 2. The waning moments of game number 3 here. Levi Lawrence will swing and miss, and even the count at 2-2. Knuckleball will miss. Full count.
Here, Runnels, who plays for the Lightning, will face him tomorrow night, saying the Vaderz are getting my wiffle ball account fat tonight, as Sasai has runners on first and second. Sean Merciel up. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Last game, this is the rubber match. The Vaderz in full control of game number 3, but are threatening here.
Merciel is going to have a patient at-bat here.
Oof, Runnels, 30K on all 3 games.
Swing and miss at a knuckleball. 1-2 to Merciel. An RBI single by Merciel here would do wonders for his confidence. Sasai is going to spike that one right down into the turf. 2-2.
I think he had his thumb in the ball there.
He's trying something. That was the 1-2 experiment. Full count.
Oof. If he walks here, you're going to see the immediate insertion of Billy.
Yeah, that's a walk. Bases are loaded. Nobody is out. Sesai Alarcon will go back to the dugout, and Billy Santiwan will come right back to the mound. He's got, looks like, 1 ball in his hand. It might be all he needs for a warm-up. There is a save situation here for Billy Santiwan as the tying run is in the on-deck circle. Despite that 5-run lead, this is a possible save situation for Santiwan. He's got 5 on the season already. First pitch is swung on and missed by Valencia.
Yeah, how many times have we said that?
I could count, but it's a lot. You get a piece. Knuckleball is so hard to hit. Feels unfair.
I know you want to get rid of it.
I don't really. Alonso Valencia will strike out. 1 out. Bases remain loaded for Barry Hutter. And he'll swing and miss. And my heart is sinking for the Night Owls.
Yeah, bases loaded, no outs now.
Pop
2
up
outs.
right side. Gio Battistoni underneath it for the second out. And Nick DeVella is going to pinch hit.
For sure. And listen, DeVella is good, and he has a lot of pop in his game.
He's going to take a good cut and foul that one down into the turf. Night Owls down to their last strike. He's going to pop one up. DeVella stays alive.
Yeah, he's the kind of dude that could clear the bases.
He's going to hold off. Ball 1. And he's going to swing and miss at an outside knuckleball, and that will do it.
Wow.
The Vaderz hang on to win 6-1 and take game number 3 and the series.
Yeah.
Night Owls doing a good job getting 1 there, Trench. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm curious to how far they are behind the ones right now. They take 2 of 3 from the Night Owls.
They are ahead now.
They're ahead now with another matchup for the ones on Saturday.
So they came into this series. Let's look at this. The Vaderz came into this series with more wins than the ones at 24-12. They now extend that to 26-13. Their win percentage, however, was slightly below the ones, so they were half a game back. But having picked up 2 points here, they will now jump in front of the ones. The ones do have 3 games in hand, but they'll make that up this Saturday. We do expect a poll up in the chat. Don't go anywhere, PLW Nation. We will get a poll up here in the chat to see who you want to see the post-game interview with. Just give us 1 minute to get that typed into Twitch, and then you'll have 1 minute to vote on that. Who do you expect to see up in the booth?
Man, offensively, nobody really showed for the Vaderz. Like, there was just some scattered hits here and there. Billy might take it one more time, pitching, 1 earned run over 7 innings or whatever he did.
Yeah.
We'll see what the poll says. But other than a James Stein gem that kind of iced the Vaderz took it to the Night Owls. And they're in a... It's hard to beat the Vaderz, man. They are really, really good.
While we wait for that poll to get up into the chat, I do want to take a moment to thank everyone who is watching here on Twitch. If you haven't done so yet, hit that follow button. You can also subscribe with Prime if you need to. Our next game is going to be tomorrow night. Let's go ahead and see what we've got up. Oh, hold on. Here comes the poll.
Who do we want to see in the booth?
Is it going to be Billy Santiwan? Is it going to be Kyle Etter? Or James Stein? Just those 3 options available tonight, as our producers have determined those are the standout performances.
Etter running
that you
away
can
with
choose
it
from.
early. Let's talk about some of the games coming up this week. Big matchup for the Legends and the Lightning. More so for the Legends tomorrow night, as we are in that middle of the pack, trying to get into the playoffs. Kind of had a little bit of a skid, but not really. Tomorrow night, I don't know exactly what our lineup's looking like, but we have to take that series against the Lightning. Of course, you have Jake Purdy, Cody Runnels, Bruce Uson, Josh Towers, bunch of good guys out there doing their thing. They definitely want to take a series away from the Legends. And then what do we have on Thursday night?
You've got the schedule right over there on top.
Thursday night, take a look at that.
Thursday night, May.
Is it the Ones versus the Warbirds?
Yeah, it's Ones at Warbirds, followed by Sand Vipers at Cajuns.
That's the big
on
matchup that
Friday.
you want to watch on Friday. And then, of course, tuning in Saturday for bonus Wiffle, the Ones versus the Bombers. And, of course, the
game.
Vaderz are going to be watching that series, as they probably are going to predict a 1 sweep against the Warbirds, and then the Vaderz are going to watch that Bomber squad try to do some damage against the Ones on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk a little bit about the Night Owls and their performance tonight. A hodgepodge collection of players who have played with a lot of other teams, a lot of trades. What did you see throughout this series, and how do you think that talk in the clubhouse is going to go after tonight?
I'm a big guy on chemistry, energy, all that type of stuff, and I just feel like the Night Owls, for a long time, I don't know if I've ever seen them gel. Late last season, they had that huge slump, didn't score a run for like 47 innings or something like that. It's kind of leaked over right into season number 4. I know he tried to make some trades and some draft picks and whatnot, but it's like building, rebuild, let go, build again, and there's just no chemistry in the Night Owls dugout. You could feel it from up here. I think other teams could feel it. Other than some highlight pitchings from their all-stars, nothing's gelling right now for the Night Owls. And honestly, I'm surprised that they even have the amount of wins that they do have on the season. They got an uphill battle. Of course, any night, any given day of the week, a team could win a series and even sweep. But it just hasn't been so for the Night Owls this year.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes for them the rest of the year. Obviously, the overall level of play here in PLW has gotten that much more difficult. The Night Owls did find themselves in the championship game in the very first season of PLW. It's been tough going ever since then. Of course, they found themselves in relegation, won their way back in, and they're looking to stave that off here in this season. It looks like we have Kyle Etter is the winner of the poll, and with that, I will retrieve him from the field.
All right.
So he can come up here and talk
Watch
to you,
your
Trent.
head out there, GK, getting out of that booth. A lot of times we forget that this is just a tiny bit too short and your night could be ruined with a head knock right there. I want to thank all our viewers hanging out tonight. We're going to get Kyle Etter. He's a lot of fun to have in the booth. This isn't the first time I've interviewed him. A lot of energy, and he really believes in his squad. And here he comes. Kyle Etter, welcome to the booth, man. Get that headset on. PLW is locked and loaded, ready to see what you got to say. Make sure that mic's nice and a couple inches from your mouth. The Vaderz. Well, I just want to talk about the Vaderz real quick. You've been up here before. Listen, you guys are still gelling, doing a lot of work inside the dugout. I know there was some trades happening. How do you feel about a couple of the guys that you picked up just in this last week?
They're great. I mean, Walker came in here and did his thing. We slipped up, let them get one. But, we came into this night with them chirping, saying we don't have pitching. And we came up with the series winner.
Yeah, I actually thought that the Night Owls were going to win 2 of 3 this series, that maybe you guys weren't able to catch up to Randy and Stein. On game 2, obviously, Stein, I don't know if it was a slip-up. Stein leading the league in ERA. He's definitely a good pitcher. Did only give up a solo home run right there. What is it like when you face James Stein?
You can't. He's great. He's great. You can't deny talent. But he definitely won tonight. Hopefully we get to see him again. Probably not this year. But he's definitely a great pitcher, for sure.
Yeah. In game 1, you guys took that. And I think it was, a 2-1 game, I believe. Billy Santiwan wins another game. Some of his pitching I haven't even seen before. It looks like now he has like a knuckle curve that's coming in.
It's a Cy Young.
He hasn't lost a game. He's got a ton of saves. His ERA is going down. We've talked about this before. What is it like playing with somebody like Billy Santiwan, where you only need 1 or 2 runs to win the game sometimes?
That's the type of guy you want to have on your team. He loves to win. Obviously, you could tell he goes out there and proves it left and right. And nobody, besides the ones, nobody has touched up his knuckleball.
Yeah.
And we can live with that. And he actually still didn't lose that game. And we truly believe that our bats, nobody can beat.
I want to talk about your defense real quick. I'm a real stickler on getting beat by a wiffle ball. And the wind was blowing out a little bit, and you'll probably hear it on the rerun when you watch. Oh, it irks me so much when you get beat by 4 or 5 feet that if you just went back to the wall a tiny bit, it's right in your chest. You did redeem yourself. There almost on 2 of them. One of them you barely missed and kind of it kind of tapped the turf or whatever. But but that other one that you caught was a gem, dude. That was like a 6 inches off the ground. It went past Ethan Ibarra's hand, and you kind of just went out and dove that. What was that play like?
It was great. I just felt like I had to redeem myself for those 2 hits. I mean, Sean beat me on 2 hits. First the short one, then the deeper one. And I just felt like I had to help my team out some way.
Yeah, good job there. In game number 3, you guys kind of coasted right there. The Night Owls didn't put up a fight at all. You guys scored enough runs. Kind of a balanced attack a little bit. Who pitched in game number 3? I forget.
I think Walker started.
Walker, a little Tanner action, I believe.
Tanner.
I forget.
Sasai came in there. Billy came in there.
Sasai's thrown around.
Dealt. He is stepping
Anytime
up.
you could get some inning utilized by some of your pitchers that you normally don't see, it's a good feeling for sure. You also had that home run that was a towering shot, so a good job there. Going ahead, you guys are making a playoff run. I've talked to you before about this. Moving forward, do you feel like the championship is going to be going through you guys?
100%. We literally do not think there is anybody better than us in this league.
Yeah, other than getting scuffed up a tiny bit by the ones, and a lot of people, I feel like you guys are going to, and that was a great series. It could have went either way right there. Other than the ones, I think a lot of PLW Nation feel like you and the ones are going to be right there towards the end of the season.
And if that's what the people want, hopefully we can give it to them, because that's a show.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
a lot of power bats, good pitching, and just a lot of personality, and you guys are a bunch of studs for sure. Everybody, Kyle Etter from the Vaderz, give it up for him. Had a
Let's
good
go,
night.
baby.
He has a lot of fun for sure. Oh, real quick, what about Cuba Dave?
Cuba Dave, man. Welcome
aboard,
man.
I know you guys
Welcome
love
aboard.
Cuba Dave.
Yeah,
he
man,
got
he's a great
an at bat as well. And he's sneaky, man. He's not an easy out. He has a good eye.
Man, we almost thought he was going to walk right there. That's almost his specialty, I feel like.
Yeah,
Man goes up there and literally just somehow is able to walk. It's insane.
Yeah, has a really good walk.
It's insane.
Anyhow, go celebrate with your team right there. Vaderz taking sole possession of first place right now until you see the ones a little bit later this week, and then another replay on Saturday night. Everybody, Kyle Etter from the Vaderz.
Let's go, Vaderz.
Watch your head as you exit that.
Appreciate you, Trent.
You got it. Yeah, I love having Kyle Etter, and you can see tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Make sure you tune in as GK Rabbit hops back in the booth. Lightning versus the Legends tomorrow night, GK. What do you think about that series?
Well, the Lightning are down at the bottom of the table. They really need to get some wins together. The Legends, of course, you talk about teams that can really create offensively. That is one of them. So the Lightning have their work cut out for them, or they're going to be facing relegation very soon.
And I feel like the Lightning, a little similar to some of the teams that have like a real good top tier pitcher, then it kind of snubs off a little bit. Jake Purdy, he's nasty on the mound when he's dealing. Cody Runnels has been doing pretty good as well on the bump. And then, so we'll have a decent series right there. I know a lot of people are looking forward to Jim Dodos and J-Lo tuning in for
Tomorrow
that one.
night.
So that'll be exciting.
Hey, on behalf of our entire stream team, I want to thank Trent Spicone. I'm Greg Kelly. Thank you for watching PLW. We'll see you tomorrow night at 6 p.m.